All right, it is working. Yes, EJ, way to go, EJ.
EJ makes the stream work.
Woo.
Unbelievable.
We'll be damned. She's Turdy McCurdy.
Are you feeding them Charity or us?
No, us.
Okay.
I turned her down.
Okay. Yeah, the only unusual thing this morning will be you're not going to see Charity this morning.
Yeah, sorry.
So, because the system to cut to Charity, Andrew does that. EJ doesn't do that at this point.
Yeah, we're trying to make it as easy as possible for EJ. So just set it and forget it kind of thing.
That's where we are.
Good morning, Sika, Trevin, Sam, Echo, Jacob, Echo.
Tracy Bogart, welcome.
Kemper.
You have the Friday song ready?
See, she's got 61. I got 57.
Yeah, and then when I go to Weather Channel,
I know.
I'm like way lower than both of you.
That's where I just got mine from. What does yours say? Because I'm looking at mine right now.
Okay, I'll look at Weather Channel.
Okay.
Let me refresh it.
They're saying 61. I think that's where she's getting it from. Oh, look, we got a new girl.
Yeah, she does watch that.
We got a new girl.
What do we have right now? That's the forecast. I got to get back to.
Travis, good morning.
$61 on the Weather Channel.
Okay. Now your app.
Check the app.
Greg from Divine. Look at that, man.
Greg from Divine, what is up?
63 in Divine.
App, look at my app. 58.
I got 56 here, my location. San Antonio, I got 58.
And, well, okay.
I got 58 in San Antonio.
Wait, that's not my location. Hang on.
Yeah, 58 in San Antonio. I got 56.
My location.
Yeah, I got 56 here, too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. 63 in Divine.
Such an amazing
I know.
Disparity.
63 degrees in Divine, everybody. Yep, he's got the Fridays. Look, he's on top. He was early. Oh, my God.
He's unbelievable.
And it was all yellow. Blue. Good morning, everybody. Oh, I've got Jenny James, so.
Oh, okay.
Don't need that. Joe Pags yet?
I'll check.
I'm going to go with not yet. Okay, not bad. Different.
What's that?
It's different.
Better than Barry Davis.
Yeah. Which, by the way, this morning he'll be playing hockey at UTSA with UTSA.
He will?
Yeah. Saw the promo last night. Not so cold in here today. I like that. Brought a jacket just in case, man.
Time.
Oh, I know. It's cold outside. Sorry, but it's cold. Now, I guess at some point this morning I'm going to go down and grab a set of headphones in case Randy decides to pop in without headphones again this morning.
Yeah. That's
yeah, I'm going to go grab. I've got some in my desk that work one ear only, but that's, because the ones that we had last week for him were horrible. The ones that Michael Borg gave me were bad.
Wow.
Oh, I left the Almas Park mom on there at 40.
Okay, yeah, it's
Especially the fact that they called off the search. That's weird. So glad that the surgery went well, Tommy. That is great. That's great.
Great news, Tommy. Happy to hear that, man.
It's a lot of hearts there, Kemper.
Woo! Kemper, Sam, Sickapallin, Tommy, Rooster, Trevin, Tracy Bogart. Good to see you.
Good to be seen. Good to be anywhere. Mm. Hey, what do you say? Let's do a show. Let's do it today.
Woo-hoo. Stay of execution on that guy.
Yeah. I don't know about that. Bruce Miller, everybody. Michael. Hey, it's the Tab Master. What's up, Tab Master?
Tab Master in the house. I hit the wrong thing. I meant text me and it's oh my God. Okay. Now I'm signed in.
Okay.
And Pags just arrived.
Did it?
Yeah.
Damn it. And happy Red Friday to you, Tab Master.
I start with I'm interviewing Pat Boone
for
Pags.
Really?
Yeah.
When?
That's what he says on his show today.
Oh, today. Okay, I thought you were.
No.
I was like, why are you interviewing?
I'm not interviewing Pat Boone.
Remember when Pat Boone did the Metal album?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not good, man. I liked Eddie Haskell better, though.
Yeah.
Eddie Haskell was classic.
He was my role model.
Yeah. Although Lumpy Rutherford, man.
I don't remember Lumpy.
Lumpy was the big guy that hung out with Wally.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I watched that show when I was a very little kid because I was homesick from school and it was on.
Mm-hmm.
And I never understood what the big fascination with that show was. I guess because it was early TV and there wasn't a lot on, but
I think
seriously, man, it was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
But I did like Bewitched.
I loved
Yes.
Elizabeth Montgomery.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, she was beautiful, man. I even, thought she did a great job as Lizzie Borden.
True. And Paul Lynde.
Oh, yeah.
As the Warlock.
Uncle Arthur.
Yeah.
Was
great.
Yes. And Endora.
Endora
was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I like Sabrina, her sister. Yeah, it was good stuff, man. When it was her doing dual roles.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. One of my favorites is when every time Darren would lie, his ears would get bigger.
Yeah. I remember that one.
Oh, Alpha Media is having a radiothon.
Woohoo.
funny. I went on to CNN this morning, and the first thing that popped up was an ad for Medicare, and it was Jack Riccardi.
Jack Riccardi for Medicare. There he is. Look at that. Speak of the devil.
Oh, wow. Did I say his name 3 times?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That's weird. Morning, M1A1. Still, the greatest story ever is when he was supposed to get engaged.
Oh, my God.
It was, oh, my God. It was horrible. Stand by, Chris.
All right. Welcome into this beautiful day, October 18th, 2024, under a mostly full moon, 6 days until OpelaCon at La Hacienda de los Barrios. You could win a gift card today on the show. 13 days to Halloween, 18 days until the 2024 election, 41 days to Thanksgiving, 68 days until Christmas, and 245 days until the first day of summer 2025. Now, those are all big days, but there's something special about today because this day is the day we've been working for all week long. Today is Friday! Woo!
Friday-luya.
Wake up the kids, go ahead and let the dogs out. Run naked through the pumpkin patch under the full moon and howl like a wolf. You made it, I made it, Charity made it, Mr. T made it, Charlie Parker made it, Randy Beamer made it, Tangi Patton made it, EJ made it, although he's wearing a 49er sweatshirt to taunt us. Happy Friday.
Red, but it's red.
It is red. That's true. He's wearing a red.
It's red.
We'll give him that. Charity, how are you this morning?
Oh, I'm fabulous. Friday always kind of gives you an extra boost, doesn't it?
Yes.
I'm loving it. How about you guys?
Fantastic.
So much better on Friday.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
so much
yes,
to
yes.
look forward to.
Yeah, the moon is amazing once again.
Yes.
Very, very cool. And I just went outside. You got these cool clouds moving over it. So it's got this contrast. It's very artistic, Charity McCurdy.
Can you snap some pictures with your iPhone 15 and send them to me in my cave of a studio so I can see
You just kick
what it
that
looks
back
like?
door open. You can see it. It's right there.
Yeah.
It only beeps for a minute. Don't worry.
Set off alarm bells. I'm sure
it's all right.
Keith would be so thrilled with
Well,
me.
he's not here yet.
Sheriff Keith is in here for a couple hours.
Yes, you
Okay.
got time.
You're safe.
Yeah.
Lots going on today. Amazing show. We've got the usual suspects, full team coverage. Great White House correspondent John Decker on campaign 2024. National correspondents Rory O'Neal, Aaron Real. It's a Randy Beamer Friday. Fridays with Beamer. He'll be here. We'll check in with Tangi Patton.
Tangi Patton.
She's got a big anniversary coming up with her TV show, Great Taste with Tangi.
Awesome.
I love that
Talk
show.
about
by
a
the way.
dream job.
No
Oh my
kidding.
goodness.
No kidding.
Yes. Not only does she taste great food, she drinks wine on her show.
What could possibly go wrong?
Exactly.
I mean,
Well, you had me at drinking wine.
We got to start drinking wine on this show. I'll tell you what, let's get this party started with traffic and weather together.
More clouds than sun today. Highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, cloudy early, partly cloudy in the afternoon. Highs in the mid 80s. And then on Sunday, a mixture of clouds and sun. Highs in the mid to upper 80s. It is 56 degrees in New Braunfels, 63 in Devine, and 57 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 5:15.
San Antonio's first news. We are less than a week away from OpelaCon, Charity McCurdy. It's wow. It's like Woodstock and Lollapalooza and a Taylor Swift concert all rolled into one.
I'm telling you, and I feel like I'm going to be a little starstruck, meeting Mike Opela in person. I mean, it's been, I feel like well over a decade. We've been talking to him
easily
on the airwaves, and I feel like I know him so well. But to see him in person, shake his hand, it's going to be awesome. I absolutely can't wait. And we're going to be fighting just for FaceTime with him to be able to talk with him. I imagine there's going to be a huge turnout.
Wait. You're going to shake his hand? What happened to the hug?
Oh, no. We're going to start with a handshake and then work our way from there.
Forward
yeah. No, you got to go in easy. You don't want to scare him. We want him to come back.
I'm going to be more starstruck by meeting RK.
Yeah. RK riding the hog is what I'm looking forward to. Absolutely. It should be RK. Con or something.
Archicon.
We'll work on that. And you have another chance this morning to win a $50 gift card to La Hacienda de los Barrios. And of course, you can use it at OpelaCon. We'll get into that in a sec. WOAI News Time, 5:16.
Thank you. Okay, got some weird talkbacks already coming in, and I don't know what they mean.
Huh.
On Halloween
Louis,
2024, all the COVID-19 will rise and walk for the evening.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay, look at EJ on top of everything, man. She's going to throw it to her.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're super late.
Yeah. Hey, hang on, guys. I got to play something for Chris real quick. How do you think that guy really feels? Because I don't think he expressed himself good enough, Chris.
He's pleased.
I was just playing Chris a talkback from somebody during the Spurs game last night that's not fit for air.
Right.
Not even on the stream, man.
Well,
but yeah. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Good morning, Louie.
Louie.
Yeah, sorry, Tab Master. Yeah, without Andrew, our director, is out today. So EJ, he just sets it and forgets it because that way we stay on the air.
Yeah, sorry about that. We should be fully functional on Monday.
Sorry, we have a mic now, right, Travis? Because I was playing something for Chris off the air. Sorry. Still think those work better. Just tossing it to her, right?
Yes.
Maybe I'll play it for you guys here at the bottom of the hour. But I have to give you a warning. There is profanity. And lots of it.
It is kind of a funny.
It is funny. I'll play it for you at the bottom of the hour when we get into this break. I'll play it.
Kind of crap we have to put up with that you do not hear on the radio.
It was pretty funny, though. Like I said, the guy really needs to open up and tell us how he really feels, though, Chris. I don't like
what's funny, just like we haven't heard from him in a long time.
That's not him.
No, I know.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But
Justin,
these people think that, we're offended when they slam us. We actually are very entertained.
Stand by. Here we go.
Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together. Then we're going to tell you how you can win a $50 gift card to La Hacienda de los Barrios. But first, Charity, what stories are you following?
A man who set for lethal injection last night had his execution halted. The search for a missing mother to Southeast Side landfill has ended, and Israeli forces have killed the leader of Hamas. We'll have the latest right now, traffic and weather.
Looks like it's going to get a little warmer this weekend, but will we see any rain? We welcome in News 4 San Antonio meteorologist Jeanette Kaye. Good morning, Jeanette. Thanks, Jeanette. 57 degrees here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 522.
San Antonio's first news, that's Mr. T, Tim Merriman. She's Charity McCurdy. I'm Chris Duell. Charlie Parker in the next hour with Those Were the Days. EJ Pacheco doing the multiple heavy lifting this morning, flying the Millennium Falcon and running our YouTube stream. And next Thursday, it is OpelaCon, a meet and greet with Mike Opela at La Hacienda de los Barrios on Redland Road from 2 to 4 p.m. Going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot going on out there. And Mr. T, once again, we've got a $50 gift card to my favorite Mexican restaurant in town, La Hacienda de los Barrios, and an opportunity for people to win that gift card.
Yeah, and it's pretty simple. You mentioned it's a meet and greet. So what we want to know is, what is the first thing that you will say to Mike Opela when you meet him? And remember, creativity does pay off.
And Charity McCurdy, how would people tell us what they would say to Mike Opela?
The free iHeartRadio app. Once you launch it, search 1200 WOAI. Look for that red circle. That's the talk back button. Once you hit it, 30 seconds to let us know. What would you say to Mike?
That's a good question. What would you say, Chris Duell?
I would say, Mike Opela, welcome to San Antonio, your ancestral homeland, where you went to Trinity University. And I'd probably thank him. He's very entertaining. He's been a great guest every weekday morning at 7:20. And amazing, and Charity alluded to this earlier, you and Charity and Charlie have been talking to him for about a decade, if not more.
I think it's more than that.
And have not met him in person yet.
Never.
It's wild. It's wild. Yeah, I think I'm just going to give him a huge smile and just say, Mike, what took you so long?
Yeah.
I can't believe we're just now finally meeting you in person. I'm going to extend my hand and then bring him in for the real thing, a hug. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to give Mike a big hug?
Oh, God, yes.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Just
Definitely.
don't sniff his ear. Don't go,
No, I'm
Joe
going to blow in
Biden.
his ear. I'm going to blow in his ear.
Yeah, don't go Joe Biden sniff his hair. Yeah, that would be
That would be weird.
That would
wouldn't
be
it?
weird.
That would be creepy, actually.
Actually, knowing Opelka, he'd probably laugh. He'd get the joke immediately. So
Well, and we want to make it clear. Right? We think it's clear, but OpelaCon is a free event.
Yes.
So you don't have to win on the air just to go. You should go no matter what. And the food is great at La Hacienda. Now, what we're doing, though, is giving you a shot at a $50 gift card.
And a chance to sit at a VIP table.
Yes, that's a big part of
That's
it.
a big part of it, yes.
So whether you win the gift card and get to the Opelka table or not, you should come.
Yeah, definitely.
Mike wants to meet you. We want to meet you.
And keep in mind, it's La Hacienda de los Barrios off Redland Road in 1604. And next Thursday's event is from 2 to 4 p.m.
And
Boom.
if you're a vet, come out and get your picture taken by our photographer. Eric Bowden will be out there, and you'll hear more from Eric on Monday.
Yeah, he takes beautiful portraits of veterans. I can't describe. We're going to give you some links on Monday when we interview him. You got to see these portraits to believe them. If you got a veteran in your life, you're going to want them photographed by Eric. All right, lots more coming up. We'll bring you the latest in the search for that missing mother of four from Almas Park coming up. Charity with all the big stories at the bottom of the hour. WOAI News Time 526.
And we're back. Yeah, Kemper, I don't understand why they stopped that search out there. It sounded like they had a lot of evidence to look into that landfill. And you're right, it is a messy job, but I just don't understand what led them out there if they didn't have the evidence and something concrete to lead them out there. I just don't understand that, but I'm sure they had their reasons. Definitely. But yeah, it was kind of weird. Yeah, Sicko, we've never met him in person. I hooked up through him through the Blaze with when Glenn Beck was doing the Blaze, and Mike used to work there, and we had him on a few times, and then we kind of got into this daily thing with him, and actually have never met him in person, but talked to him many, many times on and off the air, but never met him. So that's a trip. All right, people, you want to hear the talk back that we got during the Spurs game last night? Here it comes. I forgot where it was now. Is this it? Yeah. All right. We make sure we're down, though. Hang on. We are down, right, EJ? We are? Well, because I'm playing something that's got some profanity in it for the people on the screen, so I just want to double check, all right? All right, here we go. We got this during the Spurs game last night, and this is just some of the things that we get. You sure it's okay? I can play this, right?
I think you can.
All right. Here it comes.
Fuck the Spurs, fuck the NBA, fuck basketball, fuck you non-news station communist motherfuckers. And how come you're not smart enough to have split channels or whatever the term would be? Because you're digital, like they do on TV with, NBC 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you don't have to preempt other programming for fucking stupid fucking sports. You suck.
I just wish he wouldn't have held back.
Yeah, that's gives you a little window into some of the fun messages.
Some of the things that we have to deal with, yes.
Yeah. What a guy.
Yeah. I have seen Making a Murderer. Yeah. Yeah, I just wish that he would, Yeah, alcohol might have been involved, Rock. You are correct. It's very possible.
Steve Duraco, what is going on, man? Steve Duraco,
Greg,
the Rock, the original Rock.
That's what we have to deal with, man.
I still haven't uploaded our video yet, so I'm trying to get it on Instagram.
Sorry, Trevor. No, not today. Today we're doing some fun stuff. You're going to hear from Snoop Dogg coming up in our Wait Till You Hear This.
Snoop Dogg's going to do the weather.
Yeah, he's going to do the weather forecast in a way that only Snoop Dogg can do the weather forecast. Wow, nobody's playing today. No talkbacks yet.
That's early.
I know. It's pretty simple. How will you greet Mike Opela?
Yeah.
That's it. What would you know?
I mean, it could even be nonverbal. You could genuflect.
Ooh.
You could curtsy.
We don't use that enough.
Yeah.
We should. Curtsy, bow, head nod.
You could high five him.
Yeah. Here comes Charity, everybody.
5:30 is our time. San Antonio's first news. It is Friday. Good morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, a Texas death row inmate avoids execution, and the latest from the campaign trail. Details ahead. First, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your weather forecast for this Friday, mostly cloudy, a high near 83. Tonight's low near 65. Right now, 61 degrees. The Texas Supreme Court ruled to temporarily halt the execution of Robert Roberson, who was convicted of killing his baby in a shaken baby case. Texas Department of Criminal Justice spokesperson Amanda Fernandez shared what Roberson said when she spoke to him after the ruling yesterday.
I had the opportunity to go back there to speak with him, and he was shocked, to say the least. He praised God and he thanked his supporters.
Roberson will testify in front of a state house committee on Monday. With 18 days to go until the election, Vice President Kamala Harris traveled to Wisconsin for another campaign rally as part of her blitz in the major swing state yesterday. She says she intends to be a president for all Americans, touting support from the other side of the aisle.
Over 100 Republican leaders from across the country joined me on the campaign trail, including some who had previously served in Trump's administration.
Harris campaigned instead of attending the Al Smith dinner in New York, where former President Trump noted her absence and took a swing at her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
Governor Walz isn't here himself, but don't worry, he'll say that he was. He's going to say he was. I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz.
It's the first time in decades a vice president has skipped the event. The VP appeared via a pre-recorded video message. President Biden says it's a good day for Israel and the world after Hamas's leader was killed. Here's Fox's Peter Ducey.
President Biden says the death of Yahya Sinwar brings Israelis the same kind of relief Americans felt after the death of Osama bin Laden. Board Air Force One, President Biden phoned Prime Minister Netanyahu with congratulations. The National Security Advisor claims American spy agencies deserve credit.
It was with American intelligence help that many of these leaders, including Sinwar, were hunted and tracked, flushed out of their hiding places and put on the run.
Sinwar was killed in Rafah, where concerns about a bottleneck of refugees from the Gaza Strip led to warnings earlier this year from President Biden and Vice President Harris.
And the White House says Sinwar's death opens up an opportunity to fast track an end to the Israel-Hamas war and free the remaining hostages in Gaza. A judge is ordering the euthanization of 3 dogs belonging to a woman who faces charges for an attack that killed a 1-year-old boy. Bexar County deputies seized the dog that attacked the boy. The owner, 36-year-old Heather Rodriguez, agreed to surrender the dog, but not the other 2 that were also seized. The purpose of yesterday's dangerous dog hearing was for Rodriguez to explain why she didn't willingly surrender the 2 dogs. Rodriguez has 10 days to appeal the euthanization ruling. She faces criminal charges for the attack. Meanwhile, family and friends gathered at Heritage Oaks Mortuary to honor 1-year-old Jariah Johnson, who died from his injuries. Here's his father, Julian.
I want my son to be remembered by his smile, his laugh, his optimism, his curiosity, the fact that he was loud and he told everybody hi and he get blue kisses.
Johnson says he would like to see some kind of laws passed that could help keep the public more easily identify aggressive dogs. Well, your kid's school may not be as safe as you think. Beth Myers explains.
A new report looked specifically at the water in Texas public schools. More than 2/3 of the campuses that tested their taps found traces of lead.
This many years after the Flint, Michigan crisis, we're still allowing this poison in our schools.
Luke Metzger with the group Environment Texas is calling on the state legislature to do more to fix the problem. That could mean filtered drinking stations, which some schools have already installed. Lead exposure is linked to damage to the nervous system and learning disabilities. I'm Beth Myers, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
Extreme drought conditions are worsening in northwestern Bexar County and elsewhere in the Hill Country. San Antonio hasn't had any measurable rainfall since September 5th. The absence of rain and temperatures that are warmer than average are contributing to the drought. More than half of Texas is considered to be in a drought, with the worst of it in far west Texas and the Big Bend region. Governor Abbott has issued a disaster declaration for more than 100 Texas counties as the wildfire danger increases and the ongoing drought. Well, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame will induct its newest members this weekend. Here's Fox's Tanya J. Powers.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's class of 2024 includes Cher, Ozzy Osbourne, Mary J. Blige, Dave Matthews Band, Foreigner, Peter Frampton, Kool and the Gang, and A Tribe Called Quest, all in the performer category. Musical Influence Award winners include Alexis Corner, John Mayall, and Big Mama Thornton. And in the Musical Excellence category, Jimmy Buffett, MC5, Dionne Warwick, and Norman Whitfield, one of the creators of the Motown sound. The induction ceremony is tomorrow night at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
And Texas football coach Steve Sarkisian has big expectations for the sold-out crowd headed to tomorrow's game against Georgia. Sarkisian says he wants the more than 100,000 Longhorn faithful to break the sound record for a college football game. Kickoff tomorrow is set for 6:30 p.m. It is 5:37 now with breaking crime news from around the country. Here's Nancy Grace. Traffic and weather together in a minute. But first, check of your money and the world of business. We say good morning to Dan Schwartzman live at the Bloomberg News Desk. Thanks, Dan. News at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Here's traffic and weather.
San Antonio's first news. Mr. T, Tim Merriman, Charity McCurdy. I'm Chris Duell. And Charity, as you have been reporting, the search of that landfill has been called off in the search for missing mother of four from Almas Park, Suzanne Simpson.
That's right. And they ended their search yesterday after not being able to find what it was that they are looking for. But this investigation continues into the disappearance of Suzanne Simpson, who authorities believe is no longer alive. Keep in mind, she's a mother of four. Based on what we're hearing from family and friends, it's not like her not to be in contact with her children. So they're searching several areas. The landfill on the southeast side of the county was one of them. We're hoping that we get more clues. Definitely her husband, Brad Simpson, continues not to cooperate with police.
And something led them to that landfill. They had some sort of evidence or something that led them there. And then after 3 days, they give up the search. They got to know something else. I mean, we're not privy to what's going on in this investigation, but something is leading them to these various places that they are searching. So they got to know something. And doesn't it sound like this is premeditated?
Well, the more that the body does not appear, and again, while investigators and law enforcement authorities presume Suzanne Simpson is dead, that's not official without a body.
That's true.
But to your point, I think what you're bringing up, Mr. T, if the body was disposed of in such a way that it can't be found, or there's this much difficulty in finding it, then yeah, to be able to do that, it probably wasn't heat of the moment. It could have been something premeditated.
And you just want to believe it's only a matter of time. I know this is really disappointing for family, friends, loved ones of Suzanne, the fact that they have not been able to find what they were very confident they would find during that search of that southeast side landfill. But you got to, we have great police. There's great police work at play here. I got to believe it's only a matter of time before she's found.
And the time is it just seems like it's been dragging on. But can you imagine being the family, what they're going through during this search?
Oh, God. It's got to be horrible.
Yeah.
And just connecting the dots a little bit here, not exactly connecting the dots, but it makes me wonder, among the firearms that were confiscated from the Simpson home that were owned by Brad Simpson, including that illegal weapon, among them were silencers. I don't. Why do you buy a silencer
unless you don't want anybody to hear you shoot somebody?
Yes,
or something.
Unless you want to shoot a weapon, a deadly weapon, and not have someone hear it. We have no idea what might have been used in the disappearance of Suzanne Simpson. I just wonder the need for a silencer for anybody, unless you have plans to do something nefarious.
And you wonder, how long that federal detainer will last. I know it's at least 30 days, but you want Brad Simpson to stay behind bars, not post that $2 million bond until investigators find what it is they're looking for. And in this case, sadly, the body of Suzanne, so he can face the appropriate charges.
We will continue to bring you the absolute latest on the disappearance of Alma's Park mother of four, Suzanne Simpson. As soon as we get more information, and it happens frequently, we will bring it to you immediately. Coming up, Flashback. We'll go back in time, try to figure out what year we're landing in. Join us, WOAI News Time, 545.
And we're back.
RK, Kemper, Travis, Sikapalan, Connie, Steve Duraco, Rooster, Tabmaster, Tracy Bogert in the Witness Protection Program, Echo 5 Hotel.
He's in the Republican Protection Program? Is that what you said?
He is the chairman of the Bexar County MAGA Republican.
He's making the stream great again.
Yes.
Connie, good morning. Okay. Wow. Not to worry. My red thong is on.
Very nice.
Wow. Some hunters do that, Travis. You are correct.
Thank you, Travis, for the clarification. Then they should call them suppressors and not silencers.
We call them silencers. Most people call them suppressors.
Supermoon.
Yep. It's super. Damn. Wow. Mm. Did you hear that Kawhi Leonard is out indefinitely?
I did hear that. Unbelievable.
I think he's got hurt feelings.
He's a piece of work.
He is getting rich and not playing.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, they signed those contracts expecting
guaranteed too, man.
Yeah. Expecting full seasons out of him.
Yeah, I haven't seen him play a full season since he left here.
No.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan, Sam. He's number 2 to me.
He will always be number 2.
He will always be number 2. Amen, Sam. Vitamin C works. Allergies now, man. Something blew in with all this weather change. Oh, look, there's Nadine.
That's an internet hoax.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's where I got it from, the internet weather channel. That's where I got to go today. Revive Men's Health Clinic. Yay. Mm. Ow. Stand by, Chris.
It is time to go back in time, but what year will we land in? We'll try to figure it out. You try to figure it out. Let's play Flashback.
Wow. Wow.
68, 69, or 70. Charity, any idea?
Let's go 68.
1968?
Okay.
I'll join the two of you. Let's find out.
Wow, look at that,
Charity
Charity.
McCurdy. She is on fire.
Oh.
Very, very nice. Charity, what else are you working on?
Both Trump and Harris will be in the battleground state of Michigan today for campaign events. A man set to die for a shaken baby death will instead testify before a Texas House committee. And the search at a Southeast Side landfill for Suzanne Simpson has been suspended. We'll have more right now, traffic and weather.
More clouds than sun today, highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, cloudy skies early, partly cloudy in the afternoon, highs in the mid 80s. Sunday, mixture of clouds and sun, highs in the mid to upper 80s. It is 58 degrees in Leon Valley, 58 in Alamo Heights, and 57 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 5:53.
San Antonio's first news. Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman, Charlie Parker in the next hour with Those Were the Days. I'm Chris Duell. And we want to give you $50 to spend at La Hacienda de los Barrios. And you can certainly spend it at OpelaCon. OpelaCon will be next Thursday, October 24th. La Hacienda de los Barrios on Redland Road. It is from 2 to 4 p.m. So we're asking you, it's a meet and greet. So when you meet Mike Opela, what is the first thing you would say to him? Charity, how do people tell us that?
Of course, the free iHeartRadio app. You search 1200 WOAI and look for a red circle. That is the talkback feature. Once you hit it, it's like leaving a voicemail. You got 30 seconds.
And you would sound like this. Here's Kemper.
Good morning and happy Red Friday to the First News team. I'm having a little FOMO and sadness over not being able to attend OpelaCon. You all are going to have such a great time. I even looked into changing my airplane ticket, but it was outrageously expensive, so not in the budget. You all played for us on the chat a horrible talkback where someone was so rude and ugly. Just wanted to counter that with you guys are awesome continually. Love you guys.
Yeah, we played it for the chat. We can't play it on the
YouTube.
air.
It was not appropriate for
not appropriate for air. But this person didn't hold back, I would say. Yeah. You did not hold back. So yeah. Fun stuff. All right, here's our favorite guy, the storyteller.
Well, good morning. It's the storyteller. I think if I got to meet Mike, the first thing I might ask him is, what does the O stand for? Then I'd probably ask him, where's Charity? Oh, good day.
storyteller. Scores again.
He does.
Very nice.
He does.
Now, people have been trying to put together promos for OpelaCon. This is not an official promo, or is it?
Well, we don't know. Mike Opela put this together using artificial intelligence. So here it is.
Why are there not more people talking about the best darn event in San Antonio? I will show you how to get the best laughs of your life at OpelaCon. Picture this, folks. Comic-Con fans crammed in their mama's basement dressed like aliens waiting for pizza rolls. Now swap that sad scene for a sunny Thursday afternoon at Hacienda de los Barrios family Mexican restaurant. You get the whole crew from San Antonio's First News morning show, Chris Charity, and even the legendary Mr. T. And of course, the man himself, Mike Opela. OpelaCon has it all: great food, live entertainment, and more laughs than you can shake a stick at. So ditch those dusty capes and come on down. This ain't your mama's basement. It's the event of the year. Remember, Thursday afternoon, Hacienda de los Barrios. Be there or be square, partner. OpelaCon, where the fun is as big as Texas.
Nice.
Yes. 2 to 4. 2 to 4 next Thursday. That's the time.
Very cool.
That is very good.
Very, very good. All right. And you can eat for $50 if you're our winner.
And sit at the VIP table.
And sit at the VIP table. As storyteller, I think, has raised the bar. All right. Lots more coming up. Charity with all the big stories you need to know about at the top of the hour. Don't go anywhere. WOAI News Time, 5:56.
Hello, 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 hello. Okay, we're good. Nope. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, that's a good one, Sika.
Yeah, Sika Pollen. That's very good,
That's
sir.
a very good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Opela did himself with the AI version of the promo for OpelaCon. Have a great day at work.
Adios, Kemper. Thanks for listening on the radio later. We appreciate it.
Big time. And hook 'em horns. My midnight conversion. Thank God you said clock. Heavy clock. I left 610 open. What do you want to do there? You have an interesting story, and not a big Pretenders fan, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But they're doing something that's kind of weird. They put out a letter and everything. If you attend more than one Pretender show on their current tour and you try to sit front row on a more than one occasion, they will kick you out of the front row.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
Because they want to give local fans a chance. They say, look, they get the fact that people follow them around. And the whole point is the band, they want to play for a different audience every night. And if you buy tickets for multiple nights, please don't get offended if we request you to move out of the front row. If you spend the money to get the front row tickets and you're there for more than one night, they're going to ask you to move.
That's amazing.
It's just how can you do that to your fans?
Yeah. You want to do that at 20 and we'll do election 2024 talk here?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. See if I can find some Trump audio.
Yeah, he was at that dinner last night.
Yep.
Oh, the thing about him mentioning her laugh, I think Charity played that or somebody did. At the top.
Oh, God.
So is the Pretenders doing that?
Yeah. Yeah, and you have the story too, and they actually sent out a letter. And the letter is on the second page, exactly what it is. It's ridiculous. How can you even justify that, first of all? Come on.
.601 is our time. San Antonio's first news. It is Friday. Good morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, a Texas death row inmate avoids execution and the leader of Hamas has been killed. We'll have details, first traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your weather forecast for this Friday, mostly cloudy, a high in the low 80s. Tonight's low near 65. Right now, 61 degrees. A Texas man has avoided execution for now. Here's Fox's Carmen Roberts with more.
After a flurry of court decisions and appeals, the Texas Supreme Court stepped in late Thursday night to temporarily halt the execution of Robert Roberson in a shaken baby case. State Representative John Busey says bipartisan state lawmakers appealed the case to the state high court.
For 22 years, this man has been held in prison on death row, and we're hoping that finally, with this ruling today, with the state and the Supreme Court's decision, that the Texas House will be able to help bring to light the truth in this case.
Roberson was convicted of killing his 2-year-old, but supporters argue that was based on bad science. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
Well, Roberson is due to testify about his case to a state house committee on Monday. With 18 days to go until the election, Vice President Kamala Harris traveled to Green Bay, Wisconsin for another campaign rally as part of her blitz in the major swing state, bringing up her background in law enforcement as a qualification to lead the country.
America wants a president who will serve on behalf of all the American people. And that has been the story of my entire career. My entire career, I've only ever had one client, the people.
Harris campaigned instead of attending the Al Smith dinner in New York, where former President Trump noted her absence.
I must say I was shocked when I heard that Kamala was skipping the Al Smith dinner. I'd really hoped that she would come because we can't get enough of hearing her beautiful laugh. She laughs like crazy.
Their campaigns will shift to the battleground state of Michigan today. Trump will hold a rally in downtown Detroit, while Harris will be in Oakland County. Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz is facing off against Democratic Congressman Colin Allred in the Texas Senate race. Cruz joined Fox News to talk about the debate he had with Allred earlier this week.
He's trying to pretend that he hasn't been a hard left liberal, that he hasn't supported open borders, that he hasn't voted to defund the police, that he hasn't opposed oil and gas and energy.
Senator Cruz is leading the race in most polls. Bexar County election officials say the county is seeing record numbers of residents registered to vote in next month's election. Local voter registration is closing in on 1.3 million people. Election Administrator Jackie Callanan said 51 polling places will be open for early voting, another record number for Bexar County. Israeli forces have killed the leader of Hamas. Officials say Yahya Sinwar died during heavy fighting yesterday in Gaza. David Mincer, a spokesperson for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, cautioned that Sinwar's death does not mean the end of the war. He said that won't happen until all the hostages held by Hamas are freed. Authorities have wrapped up combing through a landfill looking for a missing San Antonio mother, but the search for Suzanne Simpson continues. Eric Lycum has the very latest.
San Antonio police, along with Almost Park police, did not reveal what led them to the landfill in southeast Bexar County or what evidence they were searching for over the last 4 days. San Antonio attorney Joel Holscher tells News 4 it's been an intense search, but as they say in criminology, no body, no murder.
But really, You can prove up a murder case without a body. It's just a lot harder. You have to have very strong circumstantial evidence, and that evidence could be very powerful evidence.
The victim's husband, Brad Simpson, remains uncooperative and jailed on $2 million bond in Bexar County as DPS says the investigation will continue. Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
The Guardians have turned the ALCS into a true series after winning Game 3, 7-5 over the Yankees at Progressive Field. The Guardians now trail the series 2-1. Cleveland will be looking to even the series when it hosts New York for Game 4 tonight. And the NLCS, the Dodgers are one win away from the World Series after blowing out the Mets 10-2 in Game 4 at Citi Field. It is 6:06. The Spurs finished the preseason with a loss in Houston. The voice of the Spurs, Bill Schoening, has more in today's Spurs Report.
San Antonio's first news. Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell. Charlie Parker with Those Were the Days at 6:48. At 6:40, White House correspondent John Decker. What about Republicans who did not vote for Donald Trump in the primaries? Will they vote for him in the general election? If they do, they could make the difference to win him the presidency. John Decker will walk us through that information coming up at 6:40. At 6:20, remember the band The Pretenders? Well, they're still out there, and Mr. T has an interesting story about them. And coming up, we'll talk about the 2024 election and what happened last night at the Al Smith dinner. But first, your traffic and weather together.
More clouds and sun today, highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, cloudy early, partly cloudy in the afternoon, highs in the mid 80s. And then on Sunday, a mixture of clouds and sun, highs in the mid to upper 80s. It is 58 degrees in China Grove, 58 in Monte Vista, and 57 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 6:12.
San Antonio's first news. The Al Smith dinner is a tradition that has been going on since 1945. The Al Smith dinner was held last night at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in Manhattan. Interestingly, Kamala Harris chose not to attend. It is the tradition that the major presidential candidates attend and speak at the Al Smith dinner. Donald Trump did attend, and he did speak.
It's been a long tradition for both Democrat and Republican candidates for president of the United States to attend this dinner. Always, it's a rule. You got to go to the dinner. You got to do it. Otherwise, bad things are going to happen to you from up there.
Yes, it is a Catholic dinner. So Donald Trump alluding to the big guy may be looking down on that dinner.
And, of course, he didn't waste an opportunity to go after his Democratic opponent, Kamala Harris, talking about the fact, that she wasn't there, even took a swing at her running mate, Tim Walz. But, as far as Harris and her pre-recorded skit she did, I guess, with Molly Shannon, that kind of seemed to fall flat as well. So I think she tried to make an effort, but I don't think it landed well. What do you think?
I think she should have been there.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a tradition and it's something that's gone on, I think she missed a very good opportunity to be on the same stage as her opponent.
Yeah, and you gave Donald Trump an advantage.
Yep.
By the same token, we talked about last week, Donald Trump skipped that 60 Minutes interview that had become a tradition over decades on the program 60 Minutes. So I think when the candidates skip these traditional things that have become a part of our election process, and certainly, most importantly, a platform, an opportunity to get up there on a podium, stand and deliver. And I find it very peculiar that Kamala Harris did not seize this opportunity.
Yeah, and we'll see if that affects anything at this point. I'm not sure that it will. I think we knew well in advance that she wasn't going to be there, and we knew that former President Trump was going to make an issue out of it. But as far as all her campaigning appearances, media appearances, most notably this week, her Fox News sit-down interview, I think a lot of focus remains on that, and that's what she's hoping will kind of help people look past that, the fact that she wasn't there last night.
Lots more coming up. You got to hear this story. If you're a fan of the Pretenders and you want to sit in the front row, you better not want to do it more than once. Mr. T will walk us through that story. We'll get you caught up on headlines, traffic, weather, and more. WOAI News Time, 6:15.
And we're back.
Woohoo! UTSA bringing hockey back to the Alamo City.
Yeah, that's interesting.
The UTSA hockey team. That seems odd.
It's very odd, actually. Very, very odd. There ain't no hockey in Texas. Wow, they got a hockey schedule.
I tried real hard
I can't
to get into hockey.
Yeah.
I was even a mascot for the San Antonio Iguanas for a while. I tried to get into the Rampage.
Tried.
I guess because I didn't grow up with hockey in San Antonio, that's part of it. But I just not my thing.
Place.
Tim, I'm disappointed in you for being so late.
Yeah, we tried to hold up the show as long as we could.
Welcome in. In fact, we did start late, Tim. We started at 5:45, so we're just waiting on you.
So right now they're overseas. The Pretenders are.
Oh, okay.
They won't be in the United States till next year. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Come on. Don't do this to me, people. All right, and we're back. Yeah. Hockey at UTSA, that's different, huh?
Yes.
Mm. 26.
26.
See. Look.
My goodness.
Yes. I got the music in me. Look at that. Oh, nice profile. Did you do that? Oh, we have Ghost in here.
Look at that.
Yeah. Okay, that's just creepy. Yeah, dudes on dudes. Stand by.
San Antonio's first news. Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together, then we're going to talk about the Pretenders. Something peculiar going on. Charity, what stories are you following?
There's 18 days to go, and both Trump and Harris will be in the swing state of Michigan today. The Texas Supreme Court halted the execution of a man convicted of killing his 2-year-old daughter, and friends and family gathered to remember a 1-year-old boy who was fatally mauled by his babysitter's dogs. We'll have details, first traffic and weather.
More clouds and sun today, highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, cloudy early, partly cloudy in the afternoon, highs in the mid 80s. Sunday, mixture of clouds and sun, and highs in the mid to upper 80s. 58 at the Pearl, 58 in Floresville, 57 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 621.
We're back on the train.
Music by the Pretenders, San Antonio's first news. The Pretenders are still out there. They're on tour. But if you're a super fan, you should beware. Mr. T, you have come across some interesting information about the Pretenders.
Yeah, Chrissy Hine, the lead singer of the Pretenders, posted on Instagram that what happens is when they go on tour, the whole point of the band is that they want to play to a different audience every night. That's why they go on tour. So they say they appreciate those that follow us and buy tickets for multiple nights, but please don't be offended if we request for you to move out of the front row. So what they're saying is if you go to more than one show and you manage to get front row tickets to more than one show and they see you, they're going to ask you to move out of that front row seat. I've got a major problem with this.
Oh,
that's bizarre.
That's offensive.
Very much so, because I did the time to get online or stand in line or do whatever it takes to get front row tickets. And so you're going to tell me, since I did that, you're going to take me out of the front row and let somebody else who might not have ever seen him before or is a different face sit in the front row. I don't think they can legally do that, because I think that ticket is a binding contract, isn't it?
I think it is too. That's a really good question.
And I mean, those tickets are expensive,
Yes.
front row tickets. And so I don't know what super fan would be like, oh, sure, Chrissy, whatever you want. Let me get, an obstructed view of my favorite band just to please you. I mean, there's a better way to go about this. Can't they maybe select fans from the back and move them up and don't sell those front row tickets?
See?
I think Billy Joel has done that in the
Billy
past.
Joel does that, yes. And I mean, that's the way to do it. Plus, it's not the 1980s. Pretenders are not that big anymore. And you really want to alienate your fans that want to spend the big bucks to sit front row? I think it's a stupid idea.
And by definition, a super fan, someone who wants to sit front row multiple nights, is one of your biggest fans.
Yes. And
why would you? Yeah. Charity, you nailed it. There's got to be a better way to do it. Even if the goal is to have other people sit in the front row, exactly what you said. Save some front row seats. And at random, move some fans up who may have never seen them before up close and personal like that. That would be a win-win for everybody.
I think the worst thing you can do is, turn off your most loyal fans and the ones that are paying big bucks to get prime seating. I just think it's a PR nightmare.
And if it means that much to you, if you're the band, put some seats on the stage with you. Bring some people up there and set them on the stage with you.
Now, that's an idea.
Yeah. If you really want to reward the new fans, that's the way to do it. And don't piss off your loyal fans.
For any band, think about this. You're a Rolling Stones fan. What if the Rolling Stones started a thing where 2 seats, every show, you sit on the stage.
That would be awesome.
Over to the side, and at random, anybody in the arena.
That would be awesome.
Will be drawn in a lottery, and it could be anybody. How crazy would that be?
That would be so cool.
again, the takeaway I'm getting is like, I'm sick of seeing your face.
You want more attractive people in the front, sir. You're going to have to move. Come on.
By the way, at OpelaCon, if someone sits too long at the VIP table, we will. If you ask too many questions of Mike Opela, if you like him too much, we will move you to the back somewhere.
Not really. But.
Just kidding. More of your talkbacks coming up to win a $50 gift card to La Hacienda de los Barrios that you can use at OpelaCon next Thursday night. Big half hour coming up. John Decker and Charlie Parker, WOAI News Time, 626. Yep.
I'll be right back.
All right. Mr. T shall return. I'm trying to screen shoot a map, and it's not cooperating with me. What I can do here. All right. John Decker coming up. It is John Decker's birthday, so we will wish him a happy birthday. Jason doesn't love Ticketmaster and Live Nation. Not a lot of people do these days. What's amazing at Ticketmaster is when you buy at Ticketmaster, you'll see the price of the ticket, and then you buy it, and then all the fees kick in, and your total is exponentially higher than you thought. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Oh man, they're really slow today on the talkback. Well, you do have that one funny one.
Yeah. Still think we ought to put the storyteller. I just hope he shows up.
Well, just to get him there. Joe Silva says, you know what band would never do what the Pretenders are
I'm
doing?
going to go with Buck Cherry.
Buck Cherry. Correct.
Joe Silva, the biggest Buck Cherry fan I know. That is Pitbull, everybody.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, here's Charity, everybody.
Pink Trail. We'll have details, first traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your weather forecast for this Friday, mostly cloudy, a high in the low 80s. Tonight's low near 65. Right now, 61 degrees. The Texas Supreme Court ruled to temporarily halt the execution of Robert Roberson, who was convicted of killing his baby in a shaken baby case. Texas Department of Criminal Justice spokesperson Amanda Fernandez shared what Roberson said when she spoke to him after the ruling yesterday.
I had the opportunity to go back there to speak with him, and he was shocked, to say the least. He praised God and he thanked his supporters.
Roberson will testify in front of a state house committee on Monday. With 18 days to go until the election, Vice President Harris traveled to Wisconsin for another campaign rally as part of her blitz in the major swing state. She says she intends to be a president for all Americans, touting support from the other side of the aisle.
Over 100 Republican leaders from across the country joined me on the campaign trail, including some who had previously served in Trump's administration.
Harris' campaign, instead of attending the Al Smith dinner in New York, where former President Trump noted her absence and took...
Very funny, Travis.
Governor Tim Walz.
Governor Walz isn't here himself, but don't worry, he'll say that he was. He's going to say he was. I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz.
It is the first time in decades a vice president has skipped the event. The VP appeared via a pre-recorded video message. Voting by non-citizens is in the spotlight as we inch closer to the November election. Rex Oates has more.
Texas has voter ID, but polling places accept temporary driver's licenses, the same ones given to legal immigrants. Some say that opens up an avenue for fraud. State Senator Mays Middleton wants to change the IDs.
You know, we need to consider changing the physical appearance of it where it's obvious from the front of it.
Because right now, he says they're the same as regular IDs. Changes would make it easier for poll workers to stop fraud. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick backs the plan. He wants driver's licenses stamped with U.S. citizen. I'm Rex Oates, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
Israel is celebrating the death of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, but the war between Israel and Hamas is not over. David Minster is a spokesman for the Israeli government.
The Prime Minister said that the mission's not over until we get our people home. We're fighting to bring every single one of them home. Hamas would do well to heed the Prime Minister's offer to let our people go in return for their lives. He's never said that in public before.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is calling on Hamas to surrender and release the hostages or risk losing their lives in battle like Sinwar and other Hamas terrorists. Officials are reporting they found no evidence after 4 days of searching for a missing woman in a southeast Bexar County landfill. San Antonio police and Almas Park police suspended the search yesterday for Suzanne Simpson. She was last seen a week ago Sunday. The landfill is one of several places investigators have searched for Simpson. Her husband, Brad Simpson, was arrested last week on charges of domestic violence and also faces a federal weapons charge. A San Antonio woman whose 3 dogs killed a 1-year-old toddler will have 10 days to convince the judge not to have those dogs euthanized. Eric Lycum has more.
We had plans. We had plans to go to the zoo or to the pumpkin patch. Like we had it's October.
The mother of 1-year-old Jariah Johnson tells News 4 it's hard to process the death of her son. She had left him with 36-year-old Heather Rodriguez to babysit, but authorities say Rodriguez left and put her 13-year-old daughter in charge. And that's when the dogs got loose and attacked the boy who died from his wounds in a hospital. The judge ordered the dogs to be surrendered, but Rodriguez only gave up one, and she was in court to explain why. The judge ordered the dogs euthanized and gave her 10 days to appeal. Meantime, the boy's father, Julian, says he wants his son remembered
by his smile, his laugh, optimism, his curiosity, the fact that he was loud and he told everybody hi and he get blue kisses.
Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
Extreme drought conditions are worsening in northwestern Bexar County and elsewhere in the Hill Country. San Antonio has not had any measurable rainfall since September 5th. The absence of rain and temperatures that are warmer than average are contributing to the drought. More than half of Texas is considered to be in a drought, with the worst of it in far west Texas and the Big Bend region. Governor Abbott has issued a disaster declaration for more than 100 Texas counties as the wildfire danger increases in the ongoing drought. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame will induct its newest members this weekend. Here's Fox's Tanya J. Powers.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's class of 2024 includes Cher, Ozzy Osbourne, Mary J. Blige, Dave Matthews Band, Foreigner, Peter Frampton, Kool and the Gang, and A Tribe Called Quest, all in the performer category. Musical Influence Award winners include Alexis Korner, John Mayall, and Big Mama Thornton. And in the Musical Excellence category, Jimmy Buffett, MC5, Dionne Warwick, and Norman Whitfield, one of the creators of the Motown sound. The induction ceremony is tomorrow night at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
And Texas football coach Steve Sarkisian has big expectations for the sold-out crowd headed to tomorrow's game against Georgia. Sarkisian says he wants the more than 100,000 Longhorn faithful to break the sound record for a college football game. Kickoff tomorrow is set for 6:30 p.m. It is 6:37. Traffic and weather together in a minute. But first, to check of your money and the world of business. Dan Schwartzman is live at the Bloomberg News Desk. Thanks, Dan. News at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Here's traffic and weather.
San Antonio's first news. Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell. Coming up at 6:48, Charlie Parker with Those Were the Days. But a big part of our election 2024 coverage is John Decker. And in a moment, we are connecting with John Decker. In fact, We're connecting with him right now. Now, John, I know the election is November 5th, and it's a huge, huge story. But I think today, on behalf of Charity and Mr. T and myself, there's an even bigger story today, John. Happy birthday, John Decker.
Happy birthday, John.
Happy birthday. Are you there?
Yeah, he is.
Great wake up song for me. I appreciate it. And it's always great to be with you every morning, but today in particular. Thanks so much.
Yeah, John, not many people make the iPhone calendar when it comes to birthdays, but you are one of those important people. So that's how we remember.
There you go. Thanks so much. I appreciate that, Charity. Very nice of you. Well, yeah, go ahead.
I was just unbelievable that, we're 18 days out from the election and there's a lot of undecided voters out there. Why are these people undecided, John? Is it a lack of clear policies? Or are they turned off by the candidates' personalities? What is it?
I don't know. That would be a great interview to bring some undecided voters on your show and ask them, why haven't you made up your mind? I have yet to meet an undecided voter, and there are people that tell pollsters they're undecided. Maybe they're reluctant to just share how they're going to vote with the pollster. But as you probably know, and just in your daily life, most people have made up their mind one way or the other how they're going to vote. It's a binary choice. It's Kamala Harris, the vice president, or Donald Trump, the former president. And the whole ball of wax is trying to reach out to those undecided voters because just based upon the polling, they are the individuals that will decide who will win this upcoming election.
All right, John. So what can former President Donald Trump do to try to sway the people that didn't vote for him in the Republican primaries to make sure that they vote for him in the general election?
Well, that process began way back in mid-July at the Republican convention, trying to have Republicans coalesce around Donald Trump, including those Nikki Haley voters that did not vote for Donald Trump in the primary process. And the big unknown is how all of those voters that didn't vote for Donald Trump in the primaries are ultimately going to vote when they don't have to share how they're going to vote with pollsters. They go into the voting booth, they close the curtain behind them, and then it's between them and that polling booth in terms of how they voted. And the numbers are pretty significant. To pick a swing state, and you can see how significant those numbers are. I'll do it for you. Michigan, it's 27% of Republican primary voters who did not vote for Donald Trump. That represents 297,000 people. That's really significant. Now, that does not mean that all 297,000 people are going to refrain from voting for Donald Trump. But the big unknown is, do they coalesce around the former president? Do they just not vote for president? Or do they do what Dick Cheney has said that he will do, what Mike Pence has said that he will do, and that is voting for Kamala Harris as vice president of the United States, as the president of the United States.
And John, you mentioned Dick Cheney and Mike Pence, and of course there's Liz Cheney, Mitt Romney, and so many other former members of Donald Trump's cabinet or staff in his first term who are now saying they will support Kamala Harris. Is anybody out there polling Republicans to seeing if that's gaining any traction among Republicans?
You remember in 2016 when Donald Trump underperformed in the polls. In other words, pollsters were not getting a full read on the full picture about Donald Trump. In other words, what we're talking about here was when individuals were polled by pollsters, they may have been reluctant to say, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. Now there's not that type of embarrassment, if you want to call it that, so to speak. And people are, I think, being very honest with pollsters and saying, if they support Donald Trump, they're going to support him and they're going to vote for him. I don't know the answer. That's the big unknown. I can't say with certainty what's going to happen to those individuals. And I've yet to see a poll which really spells out how those significant numbers of individuals who didn't vote for Donald Trump in the primaries are ultimately going to vote in this upcoming election. Give you one other number. North Carolina, another swing state, the number of Republicans not voting for Donald Trump in the North Carolina Republican primary. Let me make a game out of it. What do you think the number was? Just the number itself.
I couldn't tell you.
Give me a number, Charity. Just throw out a number.
5%. I don't know.
The number is 251,000.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's huge. It really is a wow, and that is something that makes you say, well, because when Donald Trump ran this election cycle, to me, it was like he was the incumbent. He's been president. He was the leader, not only of the Republican Party, but the leader of the free world, and Republicans, significant percentage of them, at least in the primary process, saying, I'm not going to vote for him. Now, those people could say, choice between Trump and Harris, I'm voting for Trump. That's certainly going to be a percentage of people out of that 23% in North Carolina, but I can't say what the full number, the full picture is, and we won't know that until after Election Day.
Going to be fascinating to find out. Our thanks to national correspondent and White House correspondent and birthday boy, John Decker. Coming up, Charlie Parker with Those Were the Days. WOAI News Time, 646.
A Texas death row inmate avoids death thanks to a ruling by the Texas Supreme Court. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris will hold dueling campaign events in Michigan today. And UT's football coach wants to break the sound record against Georgia. We'll have details right now, traffic and weather.
More clouds and sun today, highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, cloudy skies early, partly cloudy in the afternoon, highs in the mid 80s. Sunday, mixture of clouds and sun, highs in the mid to upper 80s. It is 57 degrees here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 6:56.
San Antonio's first news. Mike Opela from the Pure Opelka podcast will join us at 7:20. But OpelaCon, where you can meet and greet Mike Opela, is next Thursday, October 24th. 2 to 4 p.m. at La Hacienda de los Barrios on Redland Road. It is free, but we are also giving away a $50 gift card on our Talkback feature. Mr. T, what do we got?
Here's Mike.
Mike from San Antonio. If I were to meet Mike Opela, I would introduce myself. Says, afternoon, Mike. My name is Mike. I understand you're from New York, and yet somehow you ended up down here in San Antonio, Texas at Trinity University. And tell them, don't you know what people from Texas say about people from New York? Get a rope. Welcome to Texas, Mike.
Well, okay.
All right, Mike. Sure, that'll make Mike Opela feel good.
It'll make him laugh.
And hand him a bottle of Pace Picante, you know.
There you go.
That
I
would
like
pay
that.
off.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, here's an interesting one from Trucker Dave.
Man, my Thursdays are so boring. Mike Opela, Mike Opela, Mike OpelaCon. What is that? Hey, let's go next Thursday, Mike Opela, OpelaCon, over at Hacienda Los Barrios, 2 to 4. Some guy that talks a lot, but he's got this hot babe named Charity McGurty, and that's the reason I want to go meet her. Trucker Dave.
Trucker Dave.
So I'm Mike Opelka's hot babe. Did he just say that?
Yes, he
Kind
did.
of the way we read it.
Okay.
We got time for RK. Here is RK.
Mr. O, RK here. It's so nice to meet somebody with as much common sense as me. And Charity, I forgive you. 4 to 5 hugs and 2 Harley rides. WOAI Morning News. Love you guys. Can't wait to meet y'all soon. Bye.
And we love RK. More coming. But right now, let's get a weekend preview from Q1019's Jenny James.
Donate blood today at the 13th floor haunted house from 1 to 5 p.m. Today is Best Fest at UTSA at the Convocation Center. Everyone's invited. And a special free movie screening of Hocus Pocus at the Rocket La Cantera. Friday through Sunday, Ballet San Antonio presents Don Quixote at the Tobin Center, and D.L. Hughley is at the LOL Comedy Club. On Saturday, it's the 5th annual San Antonio Walk of Hope at 9 a.m. at Almost Basin Park. Festive Tales is at McAllister Park. The free Silver and Black Open Scrimmage at Frostbank Center. The San Antonio Beer Festival at Crockett Park. Luminaria at St. Paul Square. Light the Night is at Civic Park at Hemisphere to support the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Botanica at the San Antonio Botanical Garden. And Sunday is the 11th annual Baby Buggy Walk and Health Expo at Quintero Park. A Katrina live exhibit experience at the shops at La Cantera. And the Miragon Persian Autumn Festival at Main Plaza. Honestly, I don't even think I've scratched the surface. Enjoy your weekend. I'm Jenny James from Q1019 for News Radio 1200 WOAI.
7 o'clock is our time. San Antonio's first news. It is Friday. Good morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, a Texas death row inmate has his execution halted, and the leader of Hamas has been killed. We'll have details, first traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your weather forecast for this Friday, mostly cloudy, a high near 83, tonight's low near 65, right now 61 degrees. Well, the Texas man has avoided execution for now. Here's Fox's Carmen Roberts with more.
After a flurry of court decisions and appeals, the Texas Supreme Court stepped in late Thursday night to temporarily halt the execution of Robert Roberson in a shaken baby case. State Representative John Busey says bipartisan state lawmakers appealed the case to the state high court.
For 22 years, this man has been held in prison on death row, and we're hoping that finally, with this ruling today, with the state and the Supreme Court's decision, that the Texas House will be able to help bring to light the truths in this case.
Roberson was convicted of killing his 2-year-old, but supporters argue that was based on bad science. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
And Roberson is due to testify about his case to a state house committee on Monday. With 18 days to go until the election, Vice President Kamala Harris traveled to Green Bay, Wisconsin for another campaign rally as part of her blitz in the major swing state, bringing up her background in law enforcement as a qualification to lead the country.
America wants a president who will serve on behalf of all the American people. And that has been the story of my entire career. My entire career, I've only ever had one client, the people.
And Harris campaigned instead of attending the Al Smith dinner in New York, where former President Trump noted her absence.
I must say I was shocked when I heard that Kamala was skipping the Al Smith dinner. I'd really hoped that she would come because we can't get enough of hearing her beautiful laugh. She laughs like crazy.
It is the first time in decades a VP has skipped the event. The VP appeared via a pre-recorded video message. Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz is facing off against Democratic Congressman Colin Allred in the Texas Senate race. Cruz joined Fox News to talk about the debate he had with Allred earlier this week.
He's trying to pretend that he hasn't been a hard left liberal, that he hasn't supported open borders, that he hasn't voted to defund the police, that he hasn't opposed oil and gas and energy.
In most polls, Cruz is leading the race. Bexar County election officials say the county is seeing record numbers of residents register to vote in next month's election. Local voter registration is closing in on 1.3 million people. Election Administrator Jackie Callanan said 51 polling places will be open for early voting, another record number for Bexar County. Callanan is encouraging people to vote early in order to dodge the anticipated heavy turnout. Early voting begins Monday and ends on Friday, November 1st. Authorities have wrapped up combing through a landfill looking for a missing San Antonio mother of 4, but the search for Suzanne Simpson continues. Eric Lycum has the latest.
San Antonio police, along with Almost Park police, did not reveal what led them to the landfill in southeast Bexar County or what evidence they were searching for over the last 4 days. San Antonio attorney Joel Holscher tells News 4 it's been an intense search, but as they say in criminology, no body, no murder.
But really, you can prove up a murder case without a body. It's just a lot harder. You have to have very strong circumstantial evidence, and that evidence could be very powerful evidence.
The victim's husband, Brad Simpson, remains uncooperative and jailed on $2 million bond in Bexar County as DPS says the investigation will continue. Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
A judge is ordering the euthanization of 3 dogs belonging to a woman who faces charges for an attack that killed a 1-year-old boy. Bexar County deputies seized the dog that attacked the boy. The owner, 36-year-old Heather Rodriguez, agreed to surrender the dog, but not the other 2 that were seized. The purpose of yesterday's dangerous dog hearing was for Rodriguez to explain why she did not willingly surrender the 2 dogs. Rodriguez has 10 days to appeal the euthanization ruling. She faces criminal charges for the deadly attack. Meantime, family and friends gathered at Heritage Oaks Mortuary to honor 1-year-old Jariah Johnson, who died from the attack.
I want my son to be remembered by his smile, his laugh, his optimism, his curiosity, the fact that he was loud and he told everybody hi and he could get blue kisses.
His father, Julian Johnson, tells News 4 he would like to see some kind of laws passed that could help the public more easily identify aggressive dogs. It is 7:06. The Spurs finished the preseason with a loss in Houston. The voice of the Spurs, Bill Schoening, has more in today's Spurs Insider, brought to you by Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino. Thanks, Bill. Today's Spurs Insider brought to you by Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino. News at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Traffic and weather coming up.
San Antonio's first news, a big 7 o'clock hour is upon us at 7:20. Mike Opela from the Pure Opelka podcast, just 6 days out from OpelaCon next Thursday. Coming up at 7:40 from the campaign trail, national correspondent Rory O'Neal. And 7:50, Tangi Patton is going to join us.
Tangi Patton?
The Tangi Patton. Wow. What a big hour this is. And coming right up on Wait Till You Hear This, Snoop Dogg does the weather.
The hour just gets bigger.
It's crazy. Let's get you caught up on traffic and weather first.
More clouds and sun today, highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, cloudy skies early, partly cloudy in the afternoon, highs in the mid 80s. And then on Sunday, a mixture of clouds and sun, highs in the mid to upper 80s. It is 56 degrees in Kerrville, 61 in Leon Valley, and 60 here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 7:11.
San Antonio's first news every weekday morning at this time. We span the globe to bring you the constant variety of audio in a segment we call Wait Till You Hear This. And Mr. T, yesterday on the Today Show, there was a very unusual meteorologist.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg gave us the weather yesterday as only Snoop Dogg can do it. Here is today's Wait Till You Hear This.
Hey, let me get this weather together real quick. Ow, it's 57 degrees in Mary Jane Falls, Nevada.
That's right.
And then I heard it was going to be 56 degrees in Stoner, Colorado.
That's right.
But my favorite is when it's nice, hot, and misty outside, 84 degrees in Blunt, South Dakota.
Right.
Sliding on down to this area right here, above the average highs, 70 degrees in Roach, Missouri. You understand me? We stayed lucky in Kentucky. It's going to be 60 as we blaze in Blaze, Kentucky. You dig?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And over here, we got Pottsville, Pennsylvania, where it will be 60 degrees. And down low on the go, 61 degrees at High Point. Get that, High Point, North Carolina.
Snoop Dogg doing the weather charity. I think he may have yet another career if he wants it.
Everything he touches turns to comedy. I mean, he has really become America's sweetheart ever since the Paris Olympics. It's kind of awesome to see. I wonder what he'll do next.
That's a great question, because who would have thought, if you look back, 25 years ago, and you saw Snoop Dogg, you went, one day this guy's going to be on every show and be America's sweetheart. You would go, no way.
Yeah, he's going to do Olympic coverage
and do a very good job.
He's going to do the equestrian event at the Olympics, among others. It's amazing how Snoop has gone so mainstream now.
I'm thinking Good Taste with Tangi Patton. Maybe that's, a great collaboration in the making. I could see it.
Because, Tangi does sip wine on Good Taste with Tangi
So
Patton.
he could have his gin and juice?
Well, Snoop could, turn her on to some other...
there you go. Maybe different kinds of cooking.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Different ingredients. I don't know.
Tangi Patton will join us at 7:50. We're looking forward to that. Mike Opela coming right up from the Pure Opelka podcast. Always like getting his takes on the morning's big stories that is coming your way. Before that, we'll get you caught up on headlines, traffic, weather, and more. WOAI News Time, 7:13.
And we're back.
We are back. Woohoo! Yeah, I'm going to try to find you guys that TJ.
Yeah, that's shocking.
Prediction.
Dude.
Well, what's scary, I used to have him on a lot on another radio station, and he was usually pretty good with his election prediction.
Yeah. Let's hope he's way off on this one. Let's hope he's not on the money. Ooh. That was a great video, Jacob, when he did Doggy Style. I like that video.
I love Snoop Dogg. I think he's hilarious.
He is funny. He's just cool,
Yeah.
He's one of those guys you wouldn't mind hanging with. Dave the Wave, what's up? Remember Wave Robinson?
I remember the
Andrew's
name.
friend?
Who?
Big tall guy? Andrew Ashwood's friend?
Vaguely, yeah.
Dave the Wave Robinson?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's still around. I think he's still in New Braunfels, if I remember correctly. I haven't seen him talk to him in forever. If I still have his number. Oh. All right, then. Man, I'm supposed to go down to my neighbor's this afternoon for that little birthday party.
Yeah.
Right now, I think I'm going home to take a nap.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it. The iPhone 85. What's the earworm, Eric? Why don't you just tell us what it is? Wow. Wow. Damn it.
Coming right up, Mike Opela from the Pure Opelka podcast, his take on the morning's big stories. Speaking of the morning's big stories, Charity, which ones are you covering?
A man who was set for lethal injection last night in Huntsville had his execution halted. The search for a missing mother at a southeast side landfill has been suspended, and Israeli forces have killed the leader of Hamas. We'll have more right now, traffic and weather.
More clouds than sun today, highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, cloudy skies early, then partly cloudy in the afternoon, highs in the mid 80s. Then on Sunday, a mixture of clouds and sun, highs in the mid to upper 80s. It is 57 degrees in New Braunfels, Texas, 61 in Alamo Heights, and 60 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 7:19.
San Antonio's first news. Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell. EJ Pacheco flying the Millennium Falcon solo, doing the heavy lifting this morning. Coming up at 7:40, national correspondent Rory O'Neal live from the campaign trail. And at 7:50, Tangi Patton joins us from Good Taste with Tangi, her television show. You'll remember Tangi Patton with us for so long on television.
Oh, yeah.
Big
She
part
was
of
around for a long time. Yeah.
In fact, she sat next to Randy Beamer.
Yes,
for a while.
She did
on TV.
She did.
So Randy joins us just after 8:00.
Yeah,
maybe he'll provide some behind the scenes stories about his interactions with Tangi in his TV days.
Ooh, we might have to look into that. Absolutely, I like that a lot. We are standing by to contact with Mike Opela.
Now, I got a text from him earlier, Chris. He's having studio issues, and the technician won't be there till about 8:00. But he was supposed to call us on the phone.
Okay.
So, and I'm still waiting.
Oh, he doesn't have a studio of the future like we do?
No, he does. That's why it's not working.
While we wait to see if Mike Opela gets through to us, don't forget, 6 days from now, next Thursday, circle your calendar for OpelaCon at La Hacienda de los Barrios on Redland Road. It'll be from 2 to 4 p.m. It is a free event. Obviously, if you want some spectacular Mexican food, you would have to pay for that, unless you win a $50 gift card today. And oh, by the way, we might give away a few more early next week, but we're giving one away today. And we're hearing from you on our Talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. If you met Mike Opela, what's the first thing you would say to him? The first thing I would say to him is, Mike, welcome back. How you doing this morning?
I'm super. Thanks for asking. We had a complete and total internet meltdown, so I'm on the phone today. And as our time was coming up, the hero from the cable company has arrived.
Oh, thank God.
So I apologize. I apologize for being tardy.
Mike, well, we got to get your take. You know, obviously, Kamala Harris was MIA at the Al Smith dinner last night. She did provide some pre-recorded video message that kind of landed flat. Do you think that's going to continue to be a big story beyond this weekend, the fact that she wasn't there and was roasted by Trump?
Well, the Al Smith dinner is one of those hot flashes that then will die out. And her horrible video with Molly Shannon, what weak sauce it was, will die out quickly too. It was just a bad idea. So they won't talk about it too much. There will be some questions about the appropriateness of some of Mr. Trump's remarks. There were some really brutal and hilarious lines delivered last night. But at the very end, did you watch the whole thing?
Not the whole thing.
Okay, it's about 28 minutes long. At the very, very end, he appeared to be losing a little steam, and I was initially worried for him. And then he got very personal about being shot. And I think that was one of the most powerful moments of the entire roast, if you will, when he talked about how he felt and the fact that he himself someone had tried to kill him twice, and he referenced God intervening. So I was nervous, and then he kind of brought me back home. I thought it was a big night for Trump. They'll try and make it that he's mean. But every time somebody tells you Donald Trump is going to be Hitler, why is Chuck Schumer sitting next to him, if that's the case?
And we know, look, Jim Gaffigan is not a big fan of Donald Trump, but boy, he roasted Kamala and the Dems.
Oh, my God. Gaffigan was the biggest surprise of the night. He gets the most improved award if we're handing out ribbons. And, you know, the Democrats like to do that.
Yes.
But that was the biggest surprise of the night was Jim Gaffigan came out and he did what comedians are supposed to do. You're an equal opportunity offender. And he did his job. And I thought that was what a wonderful part of the show that was.
And now Donald Trump we knew he was a surrogate for Donald Trump. Mike, Elon Musk, though, now doing his first rally for Trump in Pennsylvania. Do you think he's going to move the needle?
I do. I think this is a key for independents, people who were in the Elon Musk camp for years and years and years. And then those people were told, you have to hate him now because he likes Trump. He was doing Q&A, and not far from me, in a really important part of Pennsylvania. And he's going to be doing more of these for the next few days. He's going to be doing the similar ones. People being able to ask him questions and he answer them the way he did, I think is going to be critical to Pennsylvania and maybe could be the game changer.
Mike, got to ask you on this Friday, you know, saving the planet came down to Mike Opela quitting coffee. Would you be able to do it?
Well, if that's the case, Charity, I did that about 40 years ago. I'm allergic to coffee.
What?
I can't drink coffee.
Oh.
Yeah, I drink tea and I drink Red Bull. And I know everybody's going, Red Bull, you drink it, shut up. I drink Red Bull. It's sugar and caffeine. And I love it. But no, this story about the World Economic Forum and all these greenies telling us that, well, the coffee bean growing eats up so much carbon. Guess what? Carbon. We need carbon. Carbon's important. We live on carbon. It's so funny that now they're going to tell people. I just can't wait to walk into Starbucks and go, you people are ruining the planet.
Yeah,
I'll report it if I do.
And actually, what's really ruining the planet is almond milk. How do you milk an almond?
Well, you got to get them in the little fitting there, and then you have to hook up the tubes to the almond nipples.
Well, the stool is so small to sit on; it's hard, man.
Well, that's true. This story makes me laugh because for years I've been telling people, you people in your almond milk and your soy milk and all these other non-milk milks, it takes more water to make a gallon of almond milk than anything else. But now they found there are ingredients in almond milk. There are pieces of almond milk that are triggering cancers. So enjoy your almond milk, but just enjoy the cancer that might be coming with it too. It just makes me feel like I'm Mr. Superior today. I'm doing the superiority dance.
Good.
And we may ask Mike to do the superiority dance at OpelaCon next Thursday. Don't miss it at La Hacienda de los Barrios, 2 to 4, the La Hacienda location on Redland Road. Mike is brought to us by Randy Adams Incorporated. Big next half hour, 7:40, national correspondent Rory O'Neal on the campaign trail. And 7:50, Tangi Patton, a big milestone for her show, Good Taste with Tangi, about to take place. WOAI News Time, 7:27.
7:31 is our time. San Antonio's first news. It is Friday. Good morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, a Texas death row inmate avoids execution, and the latest from the campaign trail. We'll have details first, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your weather forecast for this Friday, mostly cloudy, a high in the low 80s. Tonight's low near 65. Right now, 61 degrees. The Texas Supreme Court ruled to temporarily halt the execution of Robert Roberson, who was convicted of killing his baby in a shaken baby case. Texas Department of Criminal Justice spokesperson Amanda Fernandez shared what Roberson said when she spoke to him after the ruling yesterday.
I had the opportunity to go back there to speak with him, and he was shocked, to say the least. He praised God and he thanked his supporters.
His execution would be the first in the nation for a death reportedly caused by shaken baby syndrome. Roberson will testify in front of a state house committee on Monday. With 18 days to go until the election, Vice President Harris traveled to Green Bay, Wisconsin for another campaign rally as part of her blitz in the major swing state. She says she intends to be a president for all Americans, touting support from the other side of the aisle.
Over 100 Republican leaders from across the country joined me on the campaign trail, including some who had previously served in Trump's administration.
Harris campaigned instead of attending the Al Smith dinner in New York, where former President Trump noted her absence and took a swing at her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
Governor Walz isn't here himself, but don't worry, he'll say that he was. He's going to say he was. I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz.
It is the first time in decades a vice president has skipped the event. The VP appeared via a pre-recorded video message. Israel is celebrating the death of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, but the war between Israel and Hamas is not over. David Mincer is a spokesman for the Israeli government.
Our forces successfully eliminated Sinwar. He was the mastermind, of course, behind October the 7th. But I got to tell you, the mission's not over yet, because we still have 101 of our hostages. We know that Hamas have killed 36 of them, but the rest we believe are alive.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is calling on Hamas to surrender and release the hostages or risk losing their lives in battle like Sinwar and other Hamas terrorists. Officials are reporting they found no evidence after 4 days of searching for a missing woman in a southeast Bexar County landfill. San Antonio police and Almas Park police suspended the search yesterday for Suzanne Simpson. She was last seen a week ago Sunday. The landfill is one of several places investigators have searched for Simpson. Her husband, Brad Simpson, was arrested last week on charges of domestic violence and also faces a federal weapons charge. A San Antonio woman whose 3 dogs killed a 1-year-old toddler will have 10 days to convince a judge not to have those dogs euthanized. Eric Lycum reports.
We had plans. We had plans to go to the zoo or to the pumpkin patch. Like, we had it's October.
The mother of 1-year-old Jariah Johnson tells News 4 it's hard to process the death of her son. She had left him with 36-year-old Heather Rodriguez to babysit, but authorities say Rodriguez left and put her 13-year-old daughter in charge. And that's when the dogs got loose and attacked the boy, who died from his wounds in a hospital. The judge ordered the dogs to be surrendered, but Rodriguez only gave up one, and she was in court to explain why. The judge ordered the dogs euthanized and gave her 10 days to appeal. Meantime, the boy's father, Julian, says he wants his son remembered
by his smile, his laugh, optimism, his curiosity, the fact that he was loud and he told everybody hi and he gave blue kisses.
Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
Texas football coach Steve Sarkisian has big expectations for the sold-out crowd headed to tomorrow's game against Georgia. Sarkisian says he wants the more than 100,000 Longhorn faithful to break the sound record for a college football game. Kickoff is set for tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. It is 7:37. Traffic and weather together in a minute. But first, to check of your money in the world of business, Dan Schwartzman is live at the Bloomberg News Desk. Thanks, Dan. News at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Here's traffic and weather.
San Antonio's first news. Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell. Lots of star power coming up. Coming up at 7:50, Tangi Patton from Good Taste with Tangi, the 10th season. An all-new season begins today. We'll talk about that with Tangi. And Tangi's former colleague, Randy Beamer, coming in studio. So we're looking forward to that. Fridays with Beamer, always lots of fun. Lots to talk about with Randy Beamer. But right now, let's check in with national correspondent Rory O'Neal. Rory, you're tracking the story about that bipartisan panel looking into the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. What have we learned about this?
Well, these experts were appointed actually by President Biden shortly after the assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania. They go into good detail looking at what failed that day, and it failed on so many levels, but also a series of recommendations to fix it. Some of them, those recommendations are low-hanging fruit about improving some communications and some processes, and this person should report to that person, or the idea of, always fly drones for surveillance when it's one of these outdoor events. But they also make recommendations that are going to be much more structural, because they say that this whole Secret Service needs a good shakeup. And essentially, this is a message to that next president coming in January 20th recommending that when they appoint a new Secret Service director, they hire from outside the agency, don't promote from within.
And Rory, what are some of the examples of the Secret Service failures that are being considered cultural versus systemic?
Well, a lot of it has to do with who was assigned to do some of that security, the fact that they weren't using people with enough experience to perhaps secure some of these locations and do some of the groundwork. They also really cited this whole lack of communication from the police, the local police who were there, the Secret Service who go to an event site like this and try to do the security preparations, and that Secret Service detail, in this case, the one that's always assigned to former President Trump. They said there really isn't enough communication with that Secret Service advance team and those detailed officers who are with Donald Trump all the time. And that was a big failing, that there has to be a better line of communication. Otherwise, Butler could happen again.
Is it just come down to the fact that maybe they're just becoming a little complacent?
That's part of it. They've also talked about how they're short on cash, trying to do too much with too little, and perhaps improving the focus of the agency. You know, the Secret Service was created back in 1865 to go after counterfeit cash during the Civil War. It didn't really take on this whole presidential protection thing until I think about 1901. And perhaps they're saying, you know, you have too many people assigned to things like counterfeit money today, where they should better focus their resources on the protective operations.
Our thanks to national correspondent Rory O'Neal. He is a big part of our Election Central coverage as we continue to bring you coverage on all aspects of this presidential election all the way through Election Day, November 5th and beyond. Coming up, Tangi Patton as the all-new season, the 10th season of Good Taste with Tangi, begins today. And a little bit later, in fact, in the 8 o'clock hour, Randy Beamer, Fridays with Beamer. Lots of show coming at you. WOAI News Time, 7:44.
Hello. Okay. And we're back.
Woohoo! Johnny Chingus, welcome. Tommy Miller, RK, Trevin, Tracy Bogert, Tim, Carol Garza, welcome.
Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Tommy. Good morning, RK, Trevin, Johnny Chingus. I saw your earworm, Eric, and it doesn't look like we're going to have time for that. We got to give away this $50 gift card. We got Randy Beamer in the 8 o'clock hour.
Randy,
so
we didn't know Randy was coming in studio. And if he's in studio, we tend to, if he sticks around and we like him to stick around.
Which we probably talk him into it.
We blow out the earworm.
We're not going to probably have time for an earworm because we've got to give away this $50 gift card today.
Yeah, we'll do it another day.
Yeah, Fridays are always goofy. We like goofy Fridays. Hang on one second. And we're back.
We're going to be earlier than 50?
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell her that.
Yeah. Yeah, 47. It's going to be like 48 by the time you throw it to her. But it gives us more time with Tangi. And Chris, you can go all the way to 58. Okay.
Okay, 58. Thank you.
Yes, sir. What? I'm sorry, RK, what?
Yeah, it's going to be funky if Randy walks in the middle of this, but we'll still we'll roll with it.
Yeah. But luckily,
I love him to do. Like, remember when Carson used to have walk-ins?
Yes.
Where he'd be doing the show and then a celebrity would walk in.
I like it.
401k changes in 2025. I wonder what that's about.
Oh, no. I'm going to pull all mine out now.
Maybe iHeart is going to match our contribution.
Dude, if you got any more of that, I'll take some. Whatever you're smoking sounds good.
I got it from Snoop Dogg.
Oh, then you know it's good. I'm actually pulling all mine out and turning it into gold, Chris.
Beautiful.
Because, when the economy breaks down, I'll have all this gold and nobody will take it.
That's right. Oh, I started, and there was some gold involved. I started season 3 of The Lincoln Lawyer dropped yesterday.
How is that? Because I saw the first 2.
It's outstanding.
I like the first 2.
Yeah, watched episode 1 last night of season 3. And there was gold involved.
Yeah. I like gold.
Gold and a rattlesnake. And a 15-year flashback.
Didn't Randy have her on there?
What does he says yes mean? Oh, okay.
She was on it. No, she didn't see Randy's
I guess not.
Stand by.
Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather, then Tangi Patton as the 10th season of Good Taste with Tangi drops today. We'll talk about a lot of things with Tangi Patton coming right up. But first, Charity, what stories are you following?
Both Trump and Harris will be in the battleground state of Michigan today for campaign events. A man set to die for a shaken baby death will instead testify before a Texas House committee, and the search at a Southeast Side's landfill for a missing mother has been suspended. We'll have the latest right now, traffic and weather.
More clouds than sun today, highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, cloudy skies early, partly cloudy in the afternoon, highs in the mid 80s. Sunday, a mixture of clouds and sun, highs in the mid to upper 80s. It is 60 degrees in Von Ormy, 60 in Fort Sam, Houston, and 60 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 7:50.
San Antonio's first news, Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell, and our next guest is my all-time favorite San Antonio television personality and easily one of my favorite human beings on planet Earth, the one, the only, Tangi Patton. Tangi, how are you today?
Chris, thank you for the kind words. I am fantastic. The weather has changed. The world is a beautiful place. All is well.
Tangi, so good to hear from you this morning. We're talking about your Good Taste with Tangi TV show. Incredible. I feel like you are living the dream. I mean, you have amazing chef-prepared meals paired with fine wine. I got to ask you, how many times would you say you eat out in a week as part of your research?
Well, with the work, we eat out, quite a bit. And it's fun. People see the show and all the food and think we sit down and we eat all of that. We don't, but sometimes you really wish you could. But truly, as much fun as it is to try the different food and work with these incredible chefs and restaurant owners, it's really about their stories. That's the one thing. I come from a journalist background. Journalism has been my passion my entire adult life. And we really want to tell the stories of these incredible folks behind the scenes that make these restaurant experiences for all of us and our families happen, right?
Well, how do you find these stories? How do you find these places that you go to? Because I find it fascinating.
Well, a lot of different ways. I want to say first and foremost, Cisco Foods is one of our title sponsors, and they work with, whether a restaurant tells you who they work with or not, I can assure you 99% of the restaurants out there work with Cisco, and they've been the most amazing partners. So they're an incredible resource for us. They work with some wonderful people, and often they know the stories. We've worked together so long, they know what we're looking for. So that's one way. And also viewers. I hear from so many people that tell me about a restaurant in their neighborhood they love, in the city they love, or maybe one of their, family members is doing that's special and unique. And we don't do the chain restaurants, right? Our goal is to tell the mom and pop stories, and that's the heart and soul of what we do on Good Taste. We look for the individual stories, the small business owners. They're the ones that make this world go round.
Well, and that's one of the things I love about your show, Tangi, is the stories you tell. Yes, we discover amazing restaurants. Yes, we learn about spectacular cuisine, wine. So many great wine finds on the show. But so many times, some of the stories have been very moving about people who started sometimes with very, very little and had a long shot to make a restaurant go, and then all of a sudden, it's one of the greatest restaurants in the state of Texas. It's just they're inspiring stories much of the time.
Well, I'm glad to hear they inspire you. They inspire me. And this season is our 10th season, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. You don't feel like it's been 10 years, but I guess it has. And that's what we're going to be celebrating. So in our first episode, as an example, we'll take you to the Burnt Bean out in Seguin, and you will meet incredible chef there whose goal was to be the best barbecue place in the state. And now he's expanded that goal. We'll let you hear him this weekend talk about that. But it's the movers and shakers, yes. But a lot of these, we also celebrate the American dreamers. These are folks that came to this country, immigrated, their families did maybe, years ago, and they wanted the American dream, and they've achieved it. So we'll celebrate some of those in this first episode, actually for a couple of episodes. The heart and soul of our show is the American spirit. It's the people we, work with. It's the people we dine with. And if there was one thing I think that is so true about food, it's a unifier, right? It's a uniter. It's the one thing, people can sit around the table and come together and have a wonderful time. We're all the same, essentially, you know what I mean? And we have so much more in common, I think, at times than we have differences. And if we can look for the commonalities, look for the beauty in each and every one, I think it spreads joy to everybody. And that's the goal of our show. We want to make you laugh. We want to make you hungry. And we want to inform you. Randy Beamer had a little sign on his computer that has always stuck with me, because I think Randy Beamer is one of the best storytellers of all time. But it said, "Tell me something I don't already know." And that, I think, is sound advice if you're a journalist. Tell us something we don't already know.
And Tangi, I got to ask you really quickly. You've been to restaurants all over the state. I mean, your show airs in 17 different Texas markets. Do you have a favorite restaurant, or is that not a fair question, or is it impossible to choose?
That's like asking a parent, what's your favorite child? Oh my goodness. It is impossible to choose. There can be so many different things about different restaurants that you like. Sometimes it's the owner or the chef or, someone that works there that touches you. There's a beautiful place in Houston we reported on that gives adults with special needs jobs. That's one of my all-time favorites I think we've ever done. It's called Brookwood. If you're ever on I-10, which I'm on there quite a bit, it's a beautiful place. It has a beautiful story. I encourage folks to look it up on our website online, goodtaste.tv. Beautiful, beautiful story. But there's so many. And sometimes it's a good burger, right? Out at Burnt Bean, it was these amazing braised lamb ribs they did. I mean, there's so many. I could pick a different dish. There'd be too many restaurants to name.
All right. So you mentioned you don't eat all the food when you're out doing these things. You drink all the wine at least?
Well, if I did, we wouldn't have a show. But
it'd be a different show.
Well, it's funny. The most asked about segment, I get more people stopping me in towns all over the state and they comment on the wine finds. I want to give a shout out to HEB because from day one, HEB has been a sponsor of ours for 15 years. And from day one with these wine segments, they let me go into that wine department and choose whatever wine I want to taste. They give me total autonomy on that. So it is journalistically pure for those of you in the journalism world. And if I don't like the wine I taste, it doesn't make the segment. So I put a lot of heart and soul into those segments because I don't want to be responsible for recommending something that's not a quality product. It may not be my style of wine. You know, I'm not a big sweet wine fan, but I will put a sweet wine in there if I feel like it's a well-produced wine. So that segment is our most popular. I get more requests and questions about that than anything else.
So if you need some help next time you go to HEB, just give me and Chris a call. We'll be there.
Hey, that's what we need to do. We could do a radio show tasting. And then you tell me by the end of the show when you've tasted all those wines, what kind of job you're doing.
Okay.
You might like it. It might turn out really, really great.
Absolutely. Well, Tangi, congratulations on the 10th season. That is just absolutely wonderful. It's such a wonderful show. And for our San Antonio area listeners, I want to make sure they know where they can find it. It's certainly all episodes you can find on the website, goodtaste.tv. All episodes from all seasons are on demand. But television-wise, we're talking News 4 San Antonio and CW35.
You are News 4 San Antonio. Right now during football season, we're on at Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Beginning in December, that goes back to 6 o'clock. And then the CW on Sunday evenings at 9:30. Follow us on Instagram, Good Taste TV. That will keep you up to date. I want to say, if I had 2 quick seconds, a huge thank you to San Antonio. As you know, I have heart and soul there for so many years. And San Antonio made this show happen. And I am so grateful to all the people in San Antonio, our viewers. We have the most amazing viewers in San Antonio and beyond. But these are awesome, awesome folks. And I love each and every one of them.
Yeah, and finally, Tangi, as you know, Randy Beamer's coming into the studio at 8 o'clock. We have him on every Friday. One of these days, you got to come on with Randy, and we got to hear some old war stories about television broadcasting with you and Randy.
And we'll supply the wine.
That would be fun. we should get Don Harris to come on too.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Let's do it. I would love it. Tangi, so great to talk to you. Congratulations on the 10th anniversary or the 10th season. We look forward to it. Thanks for taking the time.
Chris, thank you. And right back at you. You are one of the most talented broadcasters I've ever worked with. And I'm really honored that you asked me to be on. Thank you.
The check is in the mail. Thank you, Tangi. Tangi Patton. More coming up. WOAI News Time, 7:59.
8:01 is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good. It is Friday. Good morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, a Texas death row inmate has his execution halted and the leader of Hamas has been killed. We'll have the latest first traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your weather forecast for this Friday, mostly cloudy, a high in the low 80s. Tonight's low near 65. Get a move on. It is 61 degrees. A Texas man avoids execution for now. Fox's Carmen Roberts has the details.
After a flurry of court decisions and appeals, the Texas Supreme Court stepped in late Thursday night to temporarily halt the execution of Robert Roberson in a shaken baby case. State Representative John Busey says bipartisan state lawmakers appealed the case to the state high court.
For 22 years, this man has been held in prison on death row, and we're hoping that finally, with this ruling today, with the state and the Supreme Court's decision, that the Texas House will be able to help bring to light the truths in this case.
Roberson was convicted of killing his 2-year-old, but supporters argue that was based on bad science. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
And Roberson is due to testify about his case to a state house committee on Monday. With 18 days to go until the election, Vice President Kamala Harris traveled to Green Bay, Wisconsin for another campaign rally as part of her blitz in the major swing state, bringing up her background in law enforcement as a qualification to lead the country.
America wants a president who will serve on behalf of all the American people. And that has been the story of my entire career. My entire career, I've only ever had one client, the people.
Harris campaigned instead of attending the Al Smith dinner in New York, where former President Trump noted her absence.
I must say I was shocked when I heard that Kamala was skipping the Al Smith dinner. I'd really hoped that she would come because we can't get enough of hearing her beautiful laugh. She laughs like crazy.
And both campaigns will shift to the battleground state of Michigan today. Bexar County election officials say the county is seeing record numbers of residents registered to vote in next month's election. Local voter registration is closing in on 1.3 million people. Election Administrator Jackie Callanan said 51 polling places will be open for early voting, another record for the county. Early voting starts Monday and ends on Friday, November 1st. Israel is celebrating the death of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, but the war between Israel and Hamas is not over. David Mincer is a spokesman for the Israeli government.
The Prime Minister said that the mission's not over until we get our people home. We're fighting to bring every single one of them home. Hamas would do well to heed the Prime Minister's offer to let our people go in return for their lives. He's never said that in public before.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is calling on Hamas to surrender and release the hostages or risk losing their lives in battle like Sinwar and other Hamas terrorists. Authorities wrapped up combing through a landfill looking for a missing mother of four, but the search for Suzanne Simpson continues. Eric Lycum has the latest.
San Antonio police, along with Almost Park police, did not reveal what led them to the landfill in southeast Bexar County or what evidence they were searching for over the last 4 days. San Antonio attorney Joel Holscher tells News 4 it's been an intense search, but as they say in criminology, no body, no murder.
But really, you can prove up a murder case without a body. It's just a lot harder. You have to have very strong circumstantial evidence, and that evidence could be very powerful evidence.
The victim's husband, Brad Simpson, remains uncooperative and jailed on $2 million bond in Bexar County as DPS says the investigation will continue. Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
It is 8:06, news at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy, traffic and weather coming up.
San Antonio's first news every Friday. It's not just a Red Friday. We wear red to remember everyone deployed till they all come home, but it's also Fridays with Beamer. Randy Beamer in studio. We're going to go to him in a flash. There he is. But first, your traffic and weather together.
More clouds than sun today, highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, clouds early, then partly cloudy in the afternoon, highs in the mid 80s. And then on Sunday, a mixture of clouds and sun, highs in the mid to upper 80s. 61 degrees in Cibolo, Texas, 60 in Livonia, and 60 right here in Stone Oak. WOEI News Time 810.
San Antonio's first news. I did mention it's a Red Friday. If you're watching the YouTube stream, you can see Randy Beamer, and Randy is wearing red to remember everyone deployed. That's pretty cool. We appreciate that.
I have a lot of family in the military, and it's a great reminder that so many people still to this day make a sacrifice, and it's not just Memorial Day and Veterans Day that we need to remember those who serve. So I'm glad you do this.
Absolutely. Huge story, Randy. And you were even talking about it on the record on KLRN, the missing mother of four from Almas Park, Suzanne Simpson. And the big story overnight is that this multi-day search of that landfill on the southeast side has been called off. You got to wonder what's next in trying to find her.
Right. And, I don't want to say it's not surprising, but we have covered other missing persons cases in the past where they have started and done a landfill search where they think remains or some kind of evidence is found, but then they call it off and they go other places. But at least they had some strong evidence pointing them in that direction. One thing I'll say, like on the record this week, we talked with Marta Pelaez of Family Violence Prevention Services, longtime advocate dealing with domestic violence. And she just wanted to point out that this case brings up so many points of what's important when we think of family violence in San Antonio. First of all, that it doesn't affect just people that don't have a lot of money and they're stressed suddenly about, it's people on this side of town or that side of town. This is Almas Park, family doing well. Anything can stress that family, and also that anybody could make a difference. They might have heard something, they might have seen something, anyone in the family. You don't want to throw guilt on this particular case. But anyway, those are the kind of things that she brought up that we all should learn while we're talking about this story.
And, you think about it, family violence can occur at any point during the course of a marriage, a relationship. We're talking about a couple that's been married for 22 years, has 4 children together. So, a lot of unanswered questions as far as how long has this been going on as far as the violence.
Right. But at the same time, another thing, as she talked about, that we should learn or remember is that just as the abuse victim, in this case, we think Suzanne Clark Simpson, is about to leave, is the most dangerous time for them. And her mom had talked to her the night before, the night she went missing, and had said she should leave. And so apparently there was, some plan in the works. And you also have to give credit to her mom, to Barton Simpson, the brother of Brad Simpson, the husband, for them coming forward and saying what they know publicly, that this isn't their family, this isn't how they were raised. And again, you don't want to place blame on anybody yet. You can't convict him yet. He's charged, but not convicted as well with Brad Simpson. But the families in this case and the whole community seems to have rallied around this. It's such a terrible situation with 4 kids in this family. We're going to have to all remember that as we talk about it so publicly, that they shouldn't be ostracized or forgotten, that they have to be remembered in all this.
Amen to that. And look, I know we can't convict the man. He's sitting in jail right now, but if they don't find a body, how hard would it be to come up with a case on this?
It's been done before.
It has been done, but it's very difficult.
It is, but I think it could happen, especially if they had that strong case before. They had to have statements, as they said. I think the sheriff.
They did. Yes.
We have statements that led us to that place. So I think it could happen.
And there's got to be so much, Randy, we don't know. You know, they've got the truck, the vehicle, Brad Simpson's vehicle that he was driving the night she disappeared. And you've got to wonder what kind of forensic evidence they might have or not have. Either way, that's going to be a big part of this case.
Right. We're going to be learning so much more about this, all of this over the next few days. And I know, Charity, you're going to be covering all of it for, we can only predict months.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, there's so many different angles to this case, and you wonder how long Brad Simpson will remain behind bars with that federal detainer as they continue to look for Suzanne.
And that's another thing that Marta Pelaez has brought up. In this case, we don't know what the means he had or family or whatever in terms of money. But given that they look like they would have money, this federal detainer and the $2 million bond is something that is rare in terms of family violence charges, and that sometimes the complicating factor is that the woman not only has to worry about leaving and she's gone, but then he gets out on bond with charges like that. And so then they have to go through Family Violence Protection Services to find a place to go to hide and with the kids. And in some cases, it's unfair because if you have more money, you're more likely to be able to get out on the smaller bond. So that's one of those things we as a community need to address as well.
Absolutely. We're going to talk more, lots more to cover with Randy Beamer coming right up. WOAI News Time 8:16.
Ed, we're back.
We're back. Are we on the podcast?
Yes, we're on the podcast. Yes.
Okay. Hi, podcast.
Say hi to everybody. Let's see if they have any questions for you, Randy.
Nope.
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 But they are commenting on your Polar Pop. It's nice to see that you still got one. Yes.
Yes.
Did I not do the?
You didn't do the plug.
You
didn't do your shameless Polar Pop plug. We got to get that in so you can make sure that they provide you with more Polar Pops. Now, Randy, when you're going out and doing things like that, do you have a sponsor for your Polar Pops, or do you have to buy them yourself?
I have to buy them myself.
Okay, we need to work on that. We'll get you a lifetime supply of Polar Pops.
I don't want to say this publicly, just between us on the podcast.
Okay.
That if you do know someone there, and as you may be able to tell,
that you use the same cup for years and years and years.
Very nice.
Now, when they raise the price, as you know, during the summer,
yes,
it goes down to 79 cents. Any size,
yes.
But then October 1st, they went up again.
Yeah.
And it's the same price whether it's a refill or not.
Really?
But I have to tell you.
Okay, it's just
if
us.
you go,
just us.
If you go to certain places
that
and
you
know
frequent
these
a lot,
people that you frequent several times a day, maybe, they'll just say, okay,
go ahead.
Nice.
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, you're good.
Hey, Polar Pop.
Is that a refill?
Hey, Polar Pop.
But now I hope the Polar Pop police don't arrest me or take it back from them.
I
Now,
remember
you
Ray
guys
Mulberg.
drink every morning. I heard you talking about coffee.
Usually I'm doing water. I'm off the caffeine
It's
this week.
vodka. It's vodka.
You guys should, talk about a morning plug and program.
That's
product
true. We're
placement.
usually guzzling coffee.
You should- and how about the flask?
Yeah, the iron flask. It's the iron flask.
Flask is off camera.
But that's so small.
It's the iron flask.
See, when I was working with Tangi, they used to have 64-ounce cups.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere. And I would come in with a couple of them sometimes, just double fisting. And then maybe go get a couple more, which is why the dementia is early.
What's that? I forgot what you were saying.
Exactly. But
I like carrots.
Oh,
hello. Tangi wants to know if she can get a copy of that. Can we pull a copy of that audio for her?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, that's a weird show.
And she likes the reunion idea. I told her, I said, I like that idea. We got to do it. She likes the idea.
She does.
Well, I don't know whatever else you want to talk about. I'll be out of here soon. Got to go over and check on the kids, grandkids.
What time you out of here?
If you can stay, we love having you stay. It's up to you.
It's your call, man.
Well, I mean, if it's okay, I don't want to
You're not overstaying. Trust me.
We would have you.
All we're going to do at 8:40 after we check in with Joe Peggs is we got to pick a winner for a $50 gift card for OpelaCon.
Yes, you can vote on that.
What was the
question today is, when it's a meet and greet. So what would you say to Mike Opela when you first meet him?
Oh, is that it? Okay,
Yeah.
I heard you ask that.
Yeah, that's the best one gets the $50 gift card.
So what do you want to do here? Do you want to do the executions day? Do you want to do something
stand
else?
by.
More with Randy Beamer in studio, but first, Charity, what stories are you following?
There's 18 days to go, and both Trump and Harris will be in the swing state of Michigan today. The Texas Supreme Court halted the execution of a man convicted of killing his 2-year-old daughter, and family and friends gathered to remember a 1-year-old boy who was fatally mauled by his babysitter's dogs. We'll have more right now, traffic and weather.
More clouds and sun today, highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, cloudy skies early, then partly cloudy in the afternoon, highs in the mid 80s. And then on Sunday, a mixture of clouds and sun, highs in the mid to upper 80s. It is 61 degrees in Monte Vista, 61 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 8:21.
San Antonio's first news, Randy Beamer in studio. We do Fridays with Beamer. And don't forget to watch Randy Beamer's program on KLRN television, On the Record, 7 p.m. Thursday nights. You can get all episodes on demand at klrn.org. And Randy, you are always involved with big events that are happening in San Antonio. A big one Saturday night, the Luminaria Contemporary Arts Festival.
Yes.
Are you the keynote artist?
No, I am. I am a backup photographer, actually. And when you say I'm usually involved with big events, yes, I am. I park cars on the side.
You do a great job, by the way.
Luminaria, and this is interesting. It's a big arts event. We've had it here for a number of years in different places around town, and it's surprising. It's illuminating, to be blunt. But have you guys ever been to one of these, first of all? Charity?
Yes, I have. And it was so much fun. It was, gosh, it had to be at least like 10 years ago. But I mean, it was a huge turnout and everything is lit up. Like you said, it's amazing.
And it's hard to describe. How would you describe it? I don't know if you've been there.
It's like contemporary art, but they have different activities for you to do as well. But I think everything illuminates. It's neon, a lot of neon colors, a lot of just amazing visuals.
Right, and that's one of the things I'm involved in, like laser shows. Well, Urban 15, George and Catherine Cisneros arts group that's known for their drumming and dancing and the parades. They are lighting up the Alamo Dome on Saturday night. I think it's from dark until 10 or something.
Oh, that's cool.
And so they are short on videographers. So they called me as a backup guy. But the reason, and it's good news about the arts, is their usual crew is there's so many of arts events that are going on this weekend that they were called away to something that paid them more. And so they called on me because I'm like, somebody's cousin's brother-in-law at a wedding. I have a camera. But it's a great sign for the arts. At the same time, it's kind of sad that there aren't enough people yet that are connected in the arts. So if you're into the arts out there, it is good news and bad news. So get involved in film, get involved in the arts. Charity, do you have a camera?
I do on my iPhone. Does that count?
Yeah.
It's an iPhone 15, Randy. It's a pretty good
15,
camera.
so it's a better camera. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a brand new Pro Max.
Oh, it is?
Oh, yes.
That's what I have. Well, Lottie freaking die. That's not the camera I'm going to use.
No, you're going to use like a real camera, right?
Can I say that on the radio?
No, you can't, but it's okay. We dumped it. So I'm picturing the Alamo Dome's going to look like Light Bright Comes to Life.
I don't know what it's going to look like.
It's going to be
Tonight I'm going
interesting.
to their rehearsal and I'm going to find out. Have you been to another one that's reminiscent of Luminari if you've never seen it? When they light up the cathedral downtown in the summer, those shows are just incredible.
Yeah.
Charity, have you taken the kids?
I took my husband before we had kids, when we had a nightlife. I took him there, and it was absolutely captivating. I highly recommend it.
So, in other words, now that you have kids, you're not going to anything this weekend outside of the house.
Not past a certain time, you would be correct. Yes, it's all about keeping the kids on that bedtime schedule.
Poor kids.
Yeah.
I think we need an intervention.
No. Another therapy with Beamer.
You need to let us watch the kids one night. I'm telling you, it'll be worth it. It would be worth
What's
it.
your communication like with your husband about your needs and what you need out of the relationship?
Well,
have you had that talk with him?
Well, we just celebrated 9 years of marriage yesterday, Beamer. So what we're doing seems to be working.
Congratulations. I'm not the guy to go to for any advice. But I asked the question because I know what not to do.
I love it. Let me ask you really quick. Have you seen that incredible new La Catrina Mexican statue? I think it's like the tallest ever at La Vita. Have you seen it in person yet?
I have not.
I can't wait.
I have not either.
In fact, that's one of those things I want to do a live Facebook on, walking around downtown and show that. But so have you been downtown in the last 9 years? Have you been out of the house?
I have for jury duty. No, I'm kidding. No, I've been downtown, but I just not at night.
Legoland.
Yeah, just not at night.
Is your husband listening this morning?
No, he's working right now, Beamer.
You sure?
Yeah, because he's paying the bills. He's helping at least.
Well, we can go there and talk to him for you.
In fact, we could get him on in the next segment, and Randy can.
We're on it.
I can
help out.
I can use this voice to talk to him. Because
We don't
it
want to
sounds
scare him.
like I want to be an advocate for you.
I don't think he'd take your phone call. You're not in his contacts, so I don't think.
More coming
Sorry.
up with Randy Beamer. Charity's got all the headlines, all the big stories at the bottom of the hour. More with Randy Beamer. Oh, and Randy's going to help us pick a winner for the La Hacienda de los Barrios gift card for OpelaCon. WOAI News Time, 8:27. Photos, but I've never been.
It's weird. It's
And we're back.
called San Antonio the Saga. And you think, okay, what is this? And it's set to music. And it's kind of a trip from San Antonio's origins.
Wow.
It's one of those
Oh,
things that's
that's
hard
cool.
to describe.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Through the history from when the Spanish came to the Civil War to they have things that move across the screen. It's like a video show with a laser light show, and it's all lit up pretty well. I don't know if it was Urban 15 or some other group had done them at each of the missions or three of the missions where they have certain shows set up, but they don't tell a story like the one at the cathedral. But
that is great.
Yeah, it's also hard to say when you talk about there's a light show. And
Right.
It's not just like
it's more than that.
All right.
Is it?
I got 3 I got to play before we pick that we haven't got to yet.
Okay.
All right.
Or do you? I mean, you could just say these are the top 3. Up to you.
Well, I can add storyteller to these next 2 right here. And
Well,
there's our 3.
or we could do the 3. We could react to them, and then we could pick a winner in the next segment.
That's true too.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay. Are you good to stick around?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
We don't want
Kid
to.
can sleep for another half hour.
We don't want to abuse you.
Oh, that's all right.
Okay.
It was a
Well,
beautiful morning.
I know, except for it's too cold.
There's a full moon.
Yeah.
That
in
was
the
so
western
Yeah.
sky.
Yeah.
And
Too freaking cold though.
I hate it already.
I hate it too.
I'm looking to travel.
Bring summer
south.
back.
Yeah, we're doing the countdown till the first day of summer.
Yeah,
Was it
right now we're at
225 days?
245 days till the first day of summer.
You know, that happens to be somebody's birthday.
Yours is the summer solstice?
Yes.
Wow.
All right.
Because I was born on Chichen Itza, the Mayan solstice when the serpent slides
Of
down.
course. Of course. That makes sense now.
Yes.
It's all coming together.
I'm Quetzalcoatl.
Speaking of Chichen Itza, season 2 of Ancient Apocalypse, The Americas with Graham Hancock has dropped on Netflix. He discovers these ancient artifacts, ancient archaeology. And one of the episode 1, what's cool is, you know how they're deforesting or doing away with the Amazon.
Yeah,
they've discovered these geometric, and he shows them from the air. These geometric circles and rectangles and
I've seen the lines and stuff. In South America.
They look like the Nazca lines, but this is actually this was underneath all of the Amazon rainforest until they burned it all away to bring more cattle in.
I'll have to watch that.
All right, I'm gonna go bribe EJ to do the podcast today.
Okay.
I don't have
And
Netflix.
can you, if he does it, who would?
I'll pull it.
Oh, you'll pull it. Great.
If I wait for him.
Okay. I'll ask her what email she wants it sent to. Okay.
Are we on now? Still on the
We
podcast?
are, but
that's
we
all
can-
right. That's cool.
we
I
can-
will.
we can
That's
adjust
all
it.
right.
Okay.
I will wait to self-incriminate myself for almost taking us on a wrong turn.
Well, when Tangi does the news in a second, I'll kill that.
Wait, when Tangi does the news?
I'm texting Tangi.
Oh, I
That's why Tangi, she wants a copy of that segment. So when Charity, not Tangi, does the segment, Tim can pull.
That was easy. Didn't cost me that much at all.
Where's Andrew?
He's
Is he
off
up in
today.
Austin? Austin. He's off.
Yeah, because he's been working so much that they had to give him a day to rest.
There's no days off
I know.
in radio.
I know. Tell me about it. But he has been working a lot.
So when Charity goes, we're going to let them listen to Charity so that Randy can speak freely.
Well,
I can do that right now. Yeah. 31 seconds.
I always speak.
All right, everybody, here comes Charity.
.32 is our time. San Antonio's first news. It is Friday. Good morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, a Texas death row inmate avoids execution, and the latest from the campaign trail. We'll have details first, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your weather forecast for this Friday, mostly cloudy, a high in the low 80s. Tonight's low near 65. Right now, 62 degrees. The Texas Supreme Court ruled to temporarily halt the execution of Robert Roberson, who was convicted of killing his baby in a shaken baby case. Texas Department of Criminal Justice spokesperson Amanda Fernandez shared what Roberson said when she spoke to him after the ruling yesterday.
I had the opportunity to go back there to speak with him, and he was shocked, to say the least. He praised God and he thanked his supporters.
Roberson will testify in front of a state house committee on Monday. With 18 days to go until the election, Vice President Kamala Harris traveled to Wisconsin for another campaign rally as part of her blitz in the major swing state. She says she intends to be a president for all Americans, touting support from the other side of the aisle.
Over 100 Republican leaders from across the country joined me on the campaign trail, including some who had previously served in Trump's administration.
Harris campaigned instead of attending the Al Smith dinner in New York, where former President Trump noted her absence and took a swing at her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
Governor Walz isn't here himself, but don't worry, he'll say that he was. He's going to say he was. I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz.
It is the first time in decades a vice president has skipped the event. The VP appeared via pre-recorded video message. Voting by non-citizens is in the spotlight as we inch closer to the election. Here's Rex Oates.
Texas has voter ID, but polling places accept temporary driver's licenses, the same ones given to legal immigrants. Some say that opens up an avenue for fraud. State Senator Mays Middleton wants to change the IDs.
You know, we need to consider changing the physical appearance of it where it's obvious from the front of it.
Because right now, he says they're the same as regular IDs. Changes would make it easier for poll workers to stop fraud. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick backs the plan. He wants driver's licenses stamped with U.S. citizen. I'm Rex Oates, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
Israel is celebrating the death of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, but the war between Israel and Hamas is not over. David Minster is a spokesman for the Israeli government.
The Prime Minister said that the mission's not over until we get our people home. We're fighting to bring every single one of them home. Hamas would do well to heed the Prime Minister's offer to let our people go in return for their lives. He's never said that in public before.
Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu is calling on Hamas to surrender and release the hostages or risk losing their lives in battle like Sinwar and other Hamas terrorists. Officials say they found no evidence after 4 days of searching for a missing woman in a southeast Bexar County landfill. San Antonio police and Almas Park police suspended the search yesterday for Suzanne Simpson. She was last seen a week ago Sunday. The landfill is one of several places investigators have searched for Simpson. Her husband, Brad Simpson, was arrested last week on charges of domestic violence and also faces a federal weapons charge. A San Antonio woman whose 3 dogs killed a 1-year-old toddler will have 10 days to convince a judge not to have those dogs euthanized. Eric Lycum has more.
We had plans. We had plans to go to the zoo, go to the pumpkin patch. Like it's October.
The mother of 1-year-old Jariah Johnson tells News 4 it's hard to process the death of her son. She had left him with 36-year-old Heather Rodriguez to babysit, but authorities say Rodriguez left and put her 13-year-old daughter in charge. And that's when the dogs got loose and attacked the boy who died from his wounds in a hospital. The judge ordered the dogs to be surrendered, but Rodriguez only gave up one, and she was in court to explain why. The judge ordered the dogs euthanized and gave her 10 days to appeal. Meantime, the boy's father, Julian, says he wants his son remembered
by his smile, his laugh, optimism, his curiosity, the fact that he was loud and he told everybody hi and he could get blue kisses.
Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
And Texas football coach Steve Sarkisian has big expectations for the sold-out crowd headed to tomorrow's game against Georgia. Sarkisian says he wants the more than 100,000 Longhorn faithful to break the sound record for a college football game. Kickoff tomorrow is set for 6:30 p.m. It is 8:38. Traffic and weather together in a minute. But first, a check of your money and the world of business. Dan Schwartzman is live at the Bloomberg News Desk. Thanks, Dan. Enjoy your weekend. News at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Here's traffic and weather.
San Antonio's first news. Randy Beamer in studio. We're going to hear more talkbacks in just a second from you. But first, let's check in with Joe Pags of the Joe Pags Show. Joe's got another big guest this afternoon. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Chris. I've got to start with just an honor to interview this guy today. It's going to be Pat Boone, legendary singer, actor. He's a guy that first broke in probably the early 50s. He was sort of Elvis before Elvis was, and they were on the circuit at the same time. He's got a brand new song out called Where Did America Go? We'll play that for you on the show. Plus, we'll reflect over Pat Boone's 90 years now, and I'm really excited to have him on. You can tell I'm excited because I talked about it first. Then we've also got Representative Mike Waltz, not to be confused with Tim Walz. This guy is a former Green Beret. He's a congressman from Florida. He's got a brand new book out. And then also John Graves from Million Voices, going to tell you how you can get all the information you need on those who are running for election and more. That's going to be on the Joe Pags Show. Free Speech Friday today, 5 o'clock, News Radio 1200 WOAI. See you then.
See you then, 5 o'clock this afternoon for the Joe Pags Show. All right, we got to find a winner. We still got new talkbacks coming in. We asked you this morning. OpelaCon is next Thursday at La Hacienda de los Barrios, 2 p.m., the location off Redland Road. It is a meet and greet with Mike Opela. So we're asking you, when you meet Mike Opela, what would you say to him? Winner's going to get $50 of great Mexican food at La Hacienda de los Barrios. Mr. T, what do you got?
Let's got Jerry right here. Here's Jerry.
Morning, crew. Jerry and Blanco. Ever since I heard about OpelaCon, and then, of course, the hugging booth with our girl Charity, I've been driving my wife crazy about wanting to go. And now I finally got her to want to go. And then I find out it's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I got to be at work. I think my wife deserves those tickets. Probably get one of my daughters to go because we're all big fans. Love you guys.
Well, first of all, I think you should call in sick.
Yeah,
and Randy, you seem surprised by the Charity McCurdy hugging.
Yeah, you didn't know about that?
Realize
Yes.
this is a huge fundraiser, apparently.
Yes. All the money goes to charity, by the way.
No charge.
Is that a regular occurrence?
No, it's kind of a running joke, but I'm a hugger. I talk about that all the time.
Have you ever hugged Randy?
I don't hug. I'm from the Midwest, and we don't hug. I'm sorry. And this hugging thing, does your husband know about this hugging thing? Seems to be a theme here.
He knows that I'm a hugger. Yes, he knew that before going in, and that's relationships.
Okay.
So we're good on that front.
How
right.
much? Well, never mind.
We got to go. Here's another one. Here's Dick.
Good morning. My name is Big Sam from Luling, Texas. And if I met Mike Opela, I would be like, what's up, Mike? What day is it? OpelaCon Day. Have a good day, everyone.
Did he have echo? Did he have echo on that Mike? How
It sounded like, I don't know.
The mic ad.
That was good.
And just one more from our good friend, Officer John.
Good morning, morning crew. Of course, I will be there to see Michael. I will be there to protect him. We do not want him to be shot at like President Trump was. So I'll see you there, and I'll be where.
Yeah, but see, what about us?
That went dark.
What about us?
No violence. No.
What about us?
Actual police officer.
Yeah, Officer John is our security.
Just don't even put it out there in the universe. I don't want to hear about shootings. No. But yes, thank you, Officer John, for being there to just protect everybody.
Well, he's protecting Mike. He's not protecting us.
Oh.
We're on our own.
Well, Randy will protect us.
Okay, Randy will protect us.
I'm not sure if I want to go now that's been put out there.
Well, you've seen Andrew. He's a big guy. We're just going to put him in front of us.
Yes.
So there you go.
The young kid in the booth.
Yeah,
Andrew.
we're covered.
There'll be, it's Texas. I'm sure, Officer John won't be the only person armed. I'm just saying.
I'm saying
it's
dark. Wow.
The guns. I'm a license holder. I'm saying I'm the license.
We can't shut
So in other words, charity will be packing during the hugging booth event.
If anybody hugs inappropriately, Charity's going to take them out.
Is that a pistol? Never mind.
Just hug me, damn it.
We will try to restore order, and we will pick a winner.
7-second delay on that, right?
We're going to pick a winner for the $50 gift card to La Hacienda de los Barrios, and Randy will be our key judge here. WOAI.
They're pulling me out of the building.
8:45. Randy Beamer will help us pick a talkback winner coming right up. But first, Charity, what stories are you following?
A Texas death row inmate avoids death thanks to a ruling by the Texas Supreme Court. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris will hold dueling campaign events in Michigan today. And UT's football coach wants fans to break the sound record against Georgia. We'll have the latest right now, traffic and weather.
More clouds and sun today, highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, cloudy skies early, then partly cloudy in the afternoon, highs in the mid 80s. And on Sunday, a mixture of clouds and sun, highs in the mid to upper 80s. It is 61 degrees here in Stone Oak. WOEI News Time 8:51.
San Antonio's first news, final segment of the week, and we will pick a winner for the $50 gift card to La Hacienda de los Barrios on Redland Road. That's where OpelaCon will be on Thursday, October 24th. That's next week at 2 p.m. We've got 3 finalists, Mr. T. What do we got?
Here's the first one.
Well, good morning. It's the storyteller. I think if I got to meet Mike, the first thing I might ask him is, what does the O stand for? Then I'd probably ask him, where's Charity? Y'all have a good day. Go Cowboys.
All right.
Go Cowboys at the end of that.
Yeah.
Randy, how do you feel about that?
I feel good for Charity that she's being validated by the audience. Take a look at her face when I just said that.
I'm starting to think that she's upstaging Mike Opelka here.
A little bit. There's more interest
She's on
in
the
her.
billboards for
Yeah,
Opelka.
yeah, exactly. All right, here's our second finalist.
Mr. O, RK here. It's so nice to meet somebody with as much common sense as me. And Charity, I forgive you. 4 to 5 hugs and 2 Harley rides. WOAI Morning News. Love you guys. Can't wait to meet y'all soon. Bye.
Okay. And here is the last.
I just want to, should Charity ride on RK's Harley twice?
I think she does need law enforcement protection. I'm not sure.
All right, here's the last finalist.
Morning, crew. Jerry and Blanco. Ever since I heard about OpelaCon, and then, of course, the hugging booth with our girl Charity, I've been driving my wife crazy about wanting to go. And now I finally got her to want to go. And then I find out it's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I got to be at work. I think my wife deserves those tickets. Probably get one of my daughters to go because we're all big fans. Love you guys.
We'll get Randy Beamer to write him a note to get him out of work.
Yeah, Jerry, call in sick.
At least he's employed. So
that's a good sign.
I think Charity needs to decide.
Yeah, Charity, since they were all, in fact,
It's all about you.
Since
Yeah.
each one of them, Storyteller, RK, and Jerry, since they all mentioned you, and since we're up against the clock, and since Randy is, Randy, you don't want to be involved in
Gotta go. Out of time.
Randy is abstaining from being a judge here.
It's all to you, Charity.
Charity,
You pick it.
Storyteller, RK
Okay.
with the Harley, or Jerry, who can't make it, but his wife and daughter would.
And the winner is?
Jerry and Blanco, I want to meet your wife and daughter, but I expect you to call in sick, really. That's the bottom line.
So Jerry and Blanco is our winner.
Yes.
Jerry,
Right on.
you win. The pressure is on. You need to call in sick or get a note from Randy Beamer and come with your wife. That's how we'll do it.
There you go.
Well, yeah, that's always the goal,
But
isn't
the
it?
storyteller and RK can still come. They just don't get the gift certificate.
Oh, yeah, anybody can come. They just don't get
it's a free event.
Yeah.
They
You don't have
pay
to
for
be
the
a-
hugs.
Yeah.
All the money goes to charity. by
Andy,
the
have
way.
we established Randy Beamer will make an appearance at OpelaCon?
We're trying to get with the scheduler and work it all out.
Out of time. Talk to my people who will get with my staff.
Randy, what are the big plans for the weekend?
Luminaria tomorrow
That's
night.
right. That's right.
And grandparenting and fathering. That
And
doesn't
congratulations
sound
on the new
So
grandbaby.
adorable. So adorable.
Why? Thank you. Yes. Go to my Facebook page. What a shill. It's not
Well, you
for money
should.
or
There's
anything.
great stuff there.
I have a pics of him.
Follow
and
Randy.
how I put him to sleep. By the way, there's a tease.
Okay.
okay.
Find that out on the Facebook page. Always love having Randy on board. We will talk to Randy next week. OpelaCon next Thursday. Have a great weekend. Coming up, you've got Glenn Beck. Thanks to EJ Pacheco for doing all the heavy lifting solo today. Charity with all the headlines at the top of the hour. Right now, your Sean Hannity Morning Minute, WOAI News Time, 8:56. Or not.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Have a great weekend.
Wonderful evening.
Bye now.
Adios.